Hello everyone. Now, let me just see change over here. Mm-hmm. Come on, the hell. Mhm. Right. Here we go. Much better, I'd say. Although I already see some bit of fucking problems with the tracking. We'll see. I mean, this is just for a little bit. After we do the introduction, I'm gonna change back to the PNG model, so whatever. But hello everyone. How you doing? Hope you guys are having a good day so far. So yeah, last stream, which was yesterday, we did some good progress with was it? Yeah, I think it was just virtual tennis. Yeah. I was already thinking that the other session that we did Ratchet and Clank as well, but no. Yeah. But yesterday we did pretty good in virtual tennis. Yeah, pretty good progress. But that was just mostly because the guy managed to go last way longer than I expected. Mostly just because he was in the middle. It was in the middle of the weekend. But that's not gonna be the same for today because you know tomorrow's Monday, so we both have to work afterwards. Right. So yeah, today's gonna be another one of those short streams. Not too short though, just like 2.5 hours. Yeah, around there. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and head straight to a virtual tennis, shall we? Man, the guy's already waiting for me. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and go straight to it. I probably should also uh, turn on Discord. Completely forgot to do that. Where's the information? Shit. Oh, another thing from general. Okay. Let's see. He's from Fiend finally got affiliate. Nice. W. Big fucking W there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't tend to check Discord right before stream. That's because I don't tend to use it. Only when I'm gonna use the PNG model. There's the information thing. There you are. All right. Now let me just yeah, change here. Get rid of you. Don't need you anymore. And now for the game. Here we go. Right, just the warning guide. They can start searching now. Here we go. All right. Let's see how many more wins I can get today. I mean, I already did some off-stream farming today as well with the guy, just a little bit, like an hour. So we should be. And the last time I checked, we only need like less than 50 win. I need less than 50 wins. So I doubt we're gonna get those 50 wins today though. Maybe probably next week, yeah. Yeah, next week I'm pretty sure that we should be fine with done with the online. Yeah, most likely.
Virtua Tennis 2009.
we go. We were right. I finished off player 2, right? So I need to do player 3 now. Is there like a way to hold on? Is there like a way to delete saves? I haven't even checked that. Okay, yeah, there is a way. There's like I didn't even check the. I didn't even pay attention to the symbols down there. Okay, here we go. And while this loads, we were in the middle of some ordinary podcast, right? Yeah, I think so. No, in the middle of it, more like almost at the end of one of them.
Player 1 to serve.
Okay, I think that should do it.
Love 15.
There we go. Right, so let's continue on from where we left off.
Is that okay?
Dude, anytime I see like any IR, like Johnny Somali, this guy that I'm covering, and think it's like this guy that I'm covering for like Candid Creep Shot Camera Hour with like random women that I'm like, dude, these people are. It's like part of me like makes the content, and I'm like, I just can't believe that these people are real. Like, this is
that they're real, and they also can get away with this shit.
Outright.
I mean, with the internet, you can get away with anything.
4K. You know how people are like, oh, you got caught in 1080p.
They're proud of it.
Bitch,
Yeah, they're proud of getting caught in 4K.
HDR 60 frames with a check mark next to the account, dude. It's debt to rights. Listen, guys, before we end the show, for the people watching, there's no better time to start working for law enforcement. I mean, they're literally handing you cases on a platter, bro. They're handing you these cases.
I wonder why doesn't law enforcement actually just,
do
watch
anything
moist
about
critical videos and base their, investigations off that? It's like...
Yeah, it seems that is a good point. It seems like it's such a easy case if they have all the evidence.
I'm sure, like, when it comes to stuff like this, there's probably going to be a few cases of like law enforcement jumping in, but in the realistic sense, it's just because there's not a there's just so much shit going on. They're like, who cares about this dude publicly defecating on the streets and throwing shit around at people? And it's like, it's not even my department, not my thing. Who gives a crap? But I don't know. As like a content creator who's
one way of looking at it.
Like this, there's just no better
Kind of
time.
Sucks, but I think that's I'm pretty sure that's just reality.
If you want to
Some
be a
people just don't give a
this,
shit.
There's just no better time than the golden age of crack house kickstream.
Honestly, if anyone's trying to make some sort of foothold in commentary on YouTube, watch kick streams all day. Like, honestly, no one's
Dude,
really
I have kick streams open without the goal of making content out of them, just because, like, bro, this is literally it's literally front row seats to like a mental ward.
Okay, I hope my streams aren't the ones you watch.
Right, because all the fucking asylums and mental wards have shut down, so they have to go, all the crazy people have to go somewhere.
I don't think I can ever reach that point, man. I think it's just it's just so beautifully degenerate. Like, you know what? I'm never gonna have the conversation about not doing drugs with my kids. I'm just gonna show them kick.com. I'm gonna be like, this is your future. You touch
the
crack?
ultimate deterrent.
You touch marijuana once. This is you, kid. Ultimate deterrent.
You're gonna
and my kids like,
marijuana, you'll be a Twitch streamer. Oh no.
Ice wall in Antarctica, like with the White Walkers on the other side. And you're like, oh, okay.
Dude.
That's
shit. Why I love Aiden Roth. I actually think he's like one of the smartest people in the world. Like, I don't believe he's that stupid. I genuinely can't believe he's that. There's just no.
He's just brand aware. Is all. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Aiden Ross.
I mean,
yeah, obviously he's slightly more smart than slightly smarter than most other big names like Hassan or Sneeko. Yeah, definitely Sneeko.
Understanding of like the ice walls and like the flat Earth and shit, but
Dude,
I don't know. I mean,
I've seen that clip with Aiden Ross saying the ice wall in Antarctica, and with the White Walkers on the other side. he is 100% serious, okay? Like, he's about to say it, and then he's embarrassed to say it because it might sound stupid. And then he goes ahead
Because
and
it is.
becomes brave because XQC says, no, say it, bro. And he says it anyway, knowing that there was a chance
I think that's
he
the
might
thing
be
with
made
Amos.
fun
He
of
just
for it, okay?
he became
That's not
too
acting.
much
But see, like,
into
That's
the
your
uh,
IQ,
You're
that's
just saying
room
how
the
good
whole
of a friend
yeah.
XQC is. I would say the same thing. I'd be like, bro, just be brave. Just say it. Dude.
What was his name again?
Dude,
Say that dumb
That's
shit.
what
Go
I
ahead.
mean, okay? Listen,
What was his name again?
saying how good of a friend.
there's no say it, bro. It might sound stupid. And then he goes ahead and he becomes brave because XQC says, no, say it, bro. And he says
XQC?
it
I thought it was
anyway,
like someone
knowing that there
else.
was a chance he might be made fun of for it, okay? That's not
But,
acting.
but
I
see,
mean,
like,
That's
I
your
guess
IQ.
I
You're
can
just
work it
saying
that
how
way
good
as
of a
well.
friend
XQC can
XQC is.
make money
I would say the
being
same
a
thing. I'd be
fucking
like,
dumbass and
bro,
wasting
just be brave. Just say it.
millions on
Say it,
gambling.
bro.
I mean, I guess he can
Dude,
Say that.
do it as
That's
well,
what
I
mean,
guess.
Okay, listen. People say Jews control the world, and they show me Aiden Ross. Okay.
Dude,
Like,
but okay, listen. Okay, you know why XQC said that as a friend?
Why?
Because XQC's like, bro, you're just gonna get clipped, and people are gonna share that.
True.
It's gonna be like a 20 like, just do it, bro.
It's gonna be
Just
great.
He knows.
Just he's like, dude, this is what we call tactical brain damage. Just go.
God damn it! Stop.
I have to imagine. I have to believe that's how it is. XQC's a Canadian, okay? When people ask me, "Oh shit, who's the top streamer?" I'm like, "He's a Canadian." And then they're like, "Oh, who is he?" I'm like, "Oh, the name's fuck. I'm blanking out right now. I don't want you to see it." Or
Probably Francois or something.
yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not feeling like saying his name now.
I'll let you figure it out. I showed my dad a clip out of like XQC. He's like, my dad loves XQC, bro. My dad shit on me for calling him out. My dad's like, he's funny. My dad's like, he's
He's so
hilarious.
entertaining. What are you doing? Leave him alone.
Dude,
Leave the poor
my
guy
dad is, like,
alone.
he's a biology nerd, okay? He loves
Mhm.
biology and animals and all that science stuff, okay? There's a 5-minute compilation on YouTube. XQC wrongly diagnosing animal species. It's like a 5-minute long clip of where he'll see, like, an alligator and be like,
By the
"Hey,
whole
turtle."
Cheeto.
Like, just random clips of him watching National Geographic and just getting the species wrong on animals. It's my favorite thing.
And that's how you know he's just perfect, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you know he's like a genuine,
He's great.
honest to God, upfront guy.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, we had a great episode of the show today. I want to thank Ken for you being on, brother. It means a lot. It's
Thanks for having
early
me.
for you. Nux, you as always, brother. Glad to always have you on as a co-host. Oompaville, wherever you are. Hope your internet situation.
And
gets
that's the
sorted.
thing with these videos. Even when they're like a few months old, you can still like get some stuff out of it because these things are still somewhat relevant today. Even
Yeah.
today.
Don't get sentenced.
And before
Yeah,
we
these
end
fucking
this off, I
idiots just
wanna,
keep
kinda
doing
talk
dumb
about a
shit.
brand we're actually launching tomorrow too. It's called One Up. So we actually have like a skincare thing. I know it's weird, a gamer running something. So gotoneup.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's literally designed as a you to some of the largest skincare brands out there. Because we as content creators have dealt with a lot of sponsors who try to basically, I think sponsors scam us. And whatnot,
Somewhat,
okay?
yeah.
I think
Some
it's
more
better
than
if we can
others.
just build our own brands. I've dealt with skincare brands that like make you do scan tests, buy like 40, 50 different products. This is the only thing you have to buy just once. One bottle, one pump a day, 30 seconds. And you get exactly, you get your whole treatment done right there. So for the guys,
It's a miracle.
For the guys that
like, thinking
don't
about
need
it,
that
like,
change,
how do you make
just
the
need
skincare
good old
brand?
case
How
of
do you make the
water
skincare
splashed
market,
onto their
actually,
face.
fun for the average person. I'm like, make it easy, make it simple. So, ladies and gentlemen, if that interests you, go to gotoneup.com. We're launching it tomorrow, but technically you can buy it right now. So, first supplies are pretty limited, but we're going to get back on rolling with it. This is not white label stuff. We actually are
label?
working with like our own
Well,
manufacturer.
I mean,
We
like
got our own
putting out
proprietary
your
formula, everything.
name on
We're
a
like proper on it. It's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanna
brandless
check it out, go check it
product or
out.
some
But
shit.
This has been another episode of the podcast, and we are out.
Okay. I mean, Oompa's doing something similar to that. As the Sour Boys. I actually saw MXR Boys eating them on a video, and they actually really quite liked them. They actually enjoyed the snacks, so okay, at least there's that. At least it's not complete shit like most other YouTuber snacks. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, is this? Right, this is the one where Miyazaki passed away. Yeah, man. There we go. Alright, now we did one from Some Ordinary Podcast. I'm doing one with Animat again. The fuck? Wait, I'm encountering a fucking random. There's a fucking random in here. No. God damn it, there's a fucking random. I encountered a fucking random in this shit, damn it. Really? All the fucking time that we played this shit. I thought this game's multiplayer was fucking that. That was a random doing here. Please, boy, let it be the right guy. Okay, thank you. I just hope we don't encounter that guy again. Man, I completely lost which one's supposed to win.
Everyone, and welcome back to another episode
right. Yeah, I think
of
so.
Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. And what a very unconventional moment, especially with the fact that the day before, I just did an episode already all about the Oscars. So the big question I gotta go and answer right now is, why the fridge am I doing this again?
Random.
Why is it suddenly that I am back a day later to go and do another episode? Well, the big reason is because last week, there have been so many major animation news that occurred that I just could not ignore. Not only a whole bunch of trailers, but a whole bunch of significant moments that have occurred that I cannot just go and delay that for next week. It's something that I have to go and discuss about it right now. Like, I know it is very, like I said, it's already unconventional that I already did like my
one episode after another
yesterday. But
I mean, if you have,
if
there's like enough news about them, yeah, sure, go for it.
Way to go and like fully discuss them instead of just having a.
I think that's like one of the reasons why Angry Joe also does like 2 videos before news, because sometimes it's just way too much shit, and other times, like big news tend to show. Sometimes, yeah, big news tend to show up right after he uploads. So yeah, that happens sometimes.
Delay for next week. Like, these are things I need to go and talk about immediately. And I know a lot of people are saying that, well, this is the bonus episode of Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. Well, technically, no. I would argue that yesterday was the bonus episode, considering that it's a lot more different and a lot more special because of the fact that it was all about the Oscars. This time around, we are going to be doing something a little bit different from that, where we're getting back to normal, where we are going to be talking about our 5 stories that include some news and some trailers and all that kind of stuff. But still, though, we are still gonna have a great time regardless. And I mean, it's more Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, so, I mean, how could you say no to that? I'm sure that just means a lot more fun and a lot more madness that will be in store for us.
Yeah,
so with all that said, I would like to go into the chat wall, and I'd like to ask you all, are you ready for another episode of Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast so soon? Let me hear it, folks. Are you ready? All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, oh wow, and even a well-placed subscription there from KS19.
Yeah,
Thank you so much there.
They just probably just a random
see
person.
That people are prepared. That is wonderful
maybe
to
also
see. All
going
right,
for trophies, maybe?
Now that everyone is ready, it is now time that we shall go and get things started. And with our first story, well, sadly,
hopefully
I
that was
gotta
just
go
a
and bring
one-off.
the mood a little bit down, because this is debatably the biggest animation news of the week. Well, other than The Boy and the Heron winning the Oscar for
But the
Best
creator
Animated
of
Feature.
Dragon Ball
Now,
passing
even
away.
though there was a moment of celebration for Japan at the Oscars with the win for The Boy and the Heron and Godzilla -1, there was also a little bit of sadness as well,
Akira Toriyama.
especially when there was a significant passing that has
there we
occurred.
go.
Now, what's important to note also is that there have been several unfortunate passings that have happened since the last week. I know there were a couple of Japanese voice actors who have passed away, and even the creator of the Backyardians is unfortunately gone. But this one, I would argue, is the most significant and debatably the biggest animation-related death,
I'd say.
alongside Mark Gustafson not that long ago. Just want to make sure I pronounce that name correctly. And so our first story that we will go and discuss is going to be regarding the passing of Akira Toriyama. Yes, Akira Toriyama, most known to be the creator of Dr. Slump and
I think he was also working on
has
a
unfortunately passed
game,
away
I think
at
so.
the age of 68. And
Yeah, he passed away in the middle of game's
died
development.
not too long ago.
That he was working
on March 1st, from what is said here on my source on The Hollywood Reporter, from an acute subdural hematoma. So yeah, apparently like it was just a very unexpected thing, and it was apparently revealed from the official Dragon Ball website, in which they stated here, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that the world of Akira Toriyama's unique works will continue to be loved by everyone for a long time to come.
Probably in his
And
teens.
to go and give you a quick summary of who Akira Toriyama is, well, he has been an illustrator, a manga creator, and an anime creator ever since his early 20s. Like, he started off very young when he began working, especially providing some work onto the Weekly Shonen Jump. In fact, just to go and read you here, this little passage from The Hollywood Reporter, is stated right here. Born on April 5th, 1955 in Nagoya, Japan, Toriyama's career as a mangaka? Honestly, this is the first time I've heard of that word, mangaka. His career as a mangaka began in his early 20s when he submitted works to the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. His first published work was Wonder Island in 1978, about a former World War II kamikaze pilot stuck on Wonder Island. The follow-up, Wonder Island 2, was published in 1979. Toriyama made his name with the manga Dr. Slump, which was serialized by Weekly Shonen Jump from 1980 to 1984. The series followed the adventures of a girl robot and her creator, who live alongside the bizarre inhabitants of
the 80s or the
Village.
90s? I think
Dr. Slump
Dragon Ball was
known for its
80s, and
silly,
then
punny
Dragon Ball
toilet
Z was the
humor and
90s.
pop culture references, and was a huge hit in Japan, selling over 35 million copies. It was later adapted into an anime series by Toei Animation that ran on Japanese TV from 1981 to 1986. But then, straight afterwards, after his work with Dr. Slump, that's when everything changed. Not just for Toriyama, but also for the entire world. And he decided that for his next creation, for his next manga that he would go and do, he decided he wanted to do something based on martial arts, since he was a big fan of kung fu movies, especially the ones from Jackie Chan. And he decided to go and name that
probably just Jackie Chan.
So he would go and start work on his little kung fu manga called Dragon Boy. But then a little bit later, he decided to go and give that a significant update, where he would maintain that kung fu element, but at the same time, he would go and include some fantastical elements that were inspired by the Chinese story Journey to the West.
Yeah,
and he changed that title from Dragon Boy to Dragon Ball. And that is where debatably his magnum opus began.
Dragon
Started
Ball.
off in 1984 and then took
Yeah,
an
it doesn't have the same
entire
ring to
life
it.
of his own, where it would become one of
Dragon Ball
the
sounds a
most
little better.
influential and one of the most popular
Dragon Boy sounds a little too
Japanese-related
much
pop
like
culture
Astro
media
Boy.
in existence of all time, even. And from there, he would also have some other notable works, especially in video games, such as Chrono Trigger and especially Dragon Warrior. Is it Dragon Warrior? No, wait, no, I don't know. I just came out of no, Dragon Quest. Sorry, I don't know why I said Dragon Warrior. I came out of Kung Fu Panda not too long ago, so that's why like my mind got a little bit mixed up. It was like, yeah, Akira Toriyama worked on the Dragon Warrior. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
Kung Fu Panda 4 came out a month ago.
Anyways, you do get what I mean, though. So yeah, like
I guess
not
it
only
kind
is
of
he well
checks
known
out.
in the anime world,
It was only
in the
like
manga
probably a
world,
month
but
ago
also in
where I listened
the
to that
video
fucking
game world.
cover that he did
And
from
honestly, it doesn't
that
matter
song
if
from Britney
you have
Spears.
seen Dragon
that
Ball
one's such a banger,
or
though.
any of his other works, like with Dr. Slump. This is debatably, without a doubt, one of the most influential Japanese artists in history, especially in pop culture. Because the big thing with Dragon Ball is that even though it was not the first it's not the first anime or the first manga to come to the West, but it definitely was one of the first to really make a massive impact to shape what anime is today. Because keep in mind, before Dragon Ball, like, yeah, anime was well known all around the world, especially with things like Speed Racer, Astro Boy, Battle of the Planets,
Yeah, there we go, Astro
Voltron,
Boy.
and several other different forms of Japanese pop culture media. But it wasn't necessarily that big. It was very underground. It was like only a very niche group of people outside of Japan that actually do know about these things, let alone actually consume that kind of media.
Back in the day,
But then
dubs weren't so
Dragon
common
Ball
like
entered
they
the
are
scene,
nowadays.
and that is a key player in really changing everything for Japanese pop culture. Like,
Tsunami
one of the
really
first
changed that.
animes and one of
Having,
the
like,
first mangas
dubs like
to
stuff,
really introduce
like
that
Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z.
medium
Yeah,
to
back
the
in the 80s,
mainstream,
we
like,
barely
to
had
really
anything,
make it
anything like that.
very worldwide, to make it very popular.
Although I'm
and
pretty
to
sure that
actually become a
both
lot
my
more
dad and my
common,
mom, they grew up watching
in
Dragon
several
Ball Z.
different cultures all around the world, for other countries as well to go and consume Japanese
you watched it in
related pop
college.
culture media, and a big part of that is with Dragon Ball. So already, in terms of that kind of influence, that is why it is easily among one of the most recognizable animes in the industry, in the world even. Like, even people who know literally nothing about anime, they know what Dragon Ball is. Like, they can point, they can look at a character like Goku and they'll know, like, oh yeah, that's Dragon Ball. Like, easily recognizable. That iconic. But at the same time, like, especially with Dragon Ball, like, not only was it like a major influence to help anime and manga and Japanese pop culture to become so mainstream, but it also played a key factor in influencing other animes and other mangas. There are so many out there who would give credit to
Dragon Ball,
Akira Toriyama.
It would be very interesting to see what
and to change their lives,
like seeing a different universe where Dragon Ball wasn't the thing at all, just to see how much difference it would turn out.
And a big part of that is because of Dragon Ball. In fact, it is actually worth mentioning that
because Dragon Ball influenced
would say
a
that
lot
in
of
the world
shit.
of anime and in the world of manga, there would be the big three. There are three animes or three mangas out there that are considered to be the biggest of them all, the most popular, that is still ongoing for literally decades. Naruto, One Piece, and of course, there is Dragon Ball. Like, debatably, the biggest one out of them all. And
One
from
Piece
there,
pretty good
there's
too.
also
Is
another thing
pretty
that
well
I do
known as
want
well,
to mention
especially
in regards
nowadays.
to Akira Toriyama.
The Dragon Ball was
And that is
was
regarding
well
the
known
fact that
way
not
before
only is
One
Dragon
Piece.
Ball in itself very iconic, but I would also say that his artwork is also very iconic. One of the most recognizable Japanese art styles in pop culture. Like the kind that you can easily recognize that it is a work from Akira Toriyama, that he was involved with the production
Yeah, you can tell
when it
just
comes
from
to
like
creating
the shape of the
whatever
eyes, where they're like
there may be. Not just
cylindrical.
with Dragon Ball, but
At
also
the
when
top
you
and
look
they're
at
like
something like
completely flat
Dragon
on the bottom.
Quest, or especially Chrono Trigger, it has that same kind of style, that same artistic aesthetic.
Yeah,
that
I'm
is
just
easily
I'm thinking of something
recognizable,
else.
That just makes it completely stand
Yeah, I
out.
kind of suck at
From
remembering
all the other
certain
anime
shapes.
types. Like a lot of people, you know, like there's a
I
lot of
haven't
people
seen
out there
a
who would
certain
say
design
that a
for
lot of
in a while.
anime, they look the same. But then there's the works of Akira Toriyama where it's like yeah, it has like some of those anime-like aesthetics, but there's something about it that is uniquely his style. That he has a very unique approach. Again,
Yeah,
rather
again,
it
you can
be
just
from
immediately
Dragon
tell
Ball
that it's
or
his.
from Dragon Quest,
Even when it's not
or
Dragon Ball,
from
the stuff
Chrono
like Chrono Trigger
that
and
you can
Dragon
recognize
Quest.
that it was his style. So from there, wait, some people are saying that they look nothing alike. Are you sure? Like, or is there a conversation going on in the chat wall? Or I don't know. There might be something that I might be missing out of context. I'm just talking about my thing. I'm just looking into what is being discussed in the chat wall. But as I was saying, though, the whole thing with Akira Toriyama is that with his works, with his influence, this is one of the big. Like, I would honestly go and say that he is easily among one of the most influential Japanese pop culture creators of all time, and a lot of people are making some major comparisons.
The One Piece creator is up there as well, but not to the level of Akira
the
Toriyama.
Japanese Stan Lee. And honestly, I don't really think that is an exaggeration. I think that there might be some legitimate accuracies, especially in terms of the cultural impact that he has left with his works. And yes, this is a massive loss, not just for anime, but for pop culture as well. Like, you probably have seen that the whole
and then Twitter's all like, he
yearning
didn't do
for
nothing.
Akira
Yeah, like
Toriyama.
Twitter
I
just
would
doing
even
Twitter
argue
things.
that so far, Akira Toriyama's passing is the most notable death of 2024 so far. And there has been a whole bunch that we have seen, but, and not to mention, like, there have been some big ones as well. Like, not too long ago, I've talked about Carl Weathers passing away, but Akira Toriyama is one who defined an entire medium.
Early on in the
and
year.
I don't think a lot of people could go and say that. So, this is just a little moment that I would like to go and express my little piece about Akira Toriyama, that I know he's going to be missed by millions, if not billions, of people around the world. Definitely one of the biggest names in anime and in manga and in pop culture, and even like just as an illustrator. Like, yeah, we lost a big one here. All right, so with that said, I would like to go into
I
the
just hope
chat
that
wall, and I
no
would
other
like to
big
ask you
big
all,
names
do you
end up
have any
passing
words
away
that
as
you would
well.
like to express
Yeah,
about
let's
Akira
just-
Toriyama?
let's hope this
Especially
thing-
if you are a
let's
fan
hope this
of
isn't gonna be
anything that
another
he has worked on,
2016.
whether it be Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump, what else? Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger.
2018.
I would love to know
Yeah, one of those
what
two.
you think. And honestly, it is sad that, and just want to quickly add as well, it is sad that he passed away, like, especially at a pretty young age, at 68. I believe there are some works that he was about to develop, but whether they're going to continue, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. I don't have a lot to say here. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball, so this passing really hit me hard. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Nah, I understand, man. Like, especially from you, JF, the fact that, like, you keep it short and sweet. I can already tell that Yeah, this is a passing that's very impactful, especially for someone like you. So I just want to make that little observation. This is truly a tragic loss. While I myself am not a huge Dragon Ball fan, I definitely won't deny Akira Toriyama really did help the show become what it is to this day, and how it is still going strong to this day. So overall, while Akira Toriyama may no longer be with us, his legacy with Dragon Ball will live on. All right, let's see what we got. Well, what else do we have? No one in the chat directly knew Toriyama directly, but his legacy with the Dragon Ball universe is so huge that it spanned the second golden age of anime during the 1980s and 1990s. Knights of the Zodiac, Sailor Moon, Ranma Half, First of the North. It was especially in France with Club d'Orphée on France 2 that all of these shows renewed the popularity of anime and manga, which is still going strong to this day. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Your works will soar through the generations to come. All right. Last week has been very saddening. For Akira, I haven't watched much Dragon Ball, but I knew the legacy impact it brought with awesome characters and funny memes I see online. Without him, we wouldn't have one of the greatest animes in pop culture. I would also express that I'm very sad that Janice Burgess is no longer with us. As someone who grew up watching the Backyardians, it's really sad to hear because I'm a huge fan of the show when it's on Nick Jr. May both Akira and Janice rest in peace. Thanks. Yeah. And I know, like there's probably some of you out there who are also saddened with Janice's passing, and especially with a big preschool show like the Backyardians. Like, I'm sure that has impacted a lot of lives right there. Let's see. When it comes to Dragon Ball, I didn't get into it until I was in my pre-teen years, starting with Dragon Ball Z, given how popular that series was compared to the original and Super series, and it was fun and compelling at the same time. If it weren't for the anime and some Studio Ghibli films, I would never get into anime in the first place. I'm sad that he passed away, so may he rest in peace. Yeah, and that's also another major thing to go and
finding the damn match
about.
I see. He was just
that with Dragon Ball,
he was switching.
A lot of people would go and
save
credit
slots.
that
I think
as
that's what it was.
Their gateway anime, their introduction to anime and to Japanese pop culture in general.
Yeah, he was just switching save slots.
The impact of Akira Toriyama's passing is so significant that if it weren't for him, anime would not be where it is today, and many people would not get into anime as much as they are now. So that's why, that's why this is something that millions
personally,
of people
I didn't grow up with stuff like Dragon Ball. I've seen some episodes of it, but
the original Dragon
it wasn't
Ball
my thing.
Is one of my
I always
favorite
preferred stuff like Doraemon.
The sense of action, adventure, and
like
heart
more
poured into the
way
series
back,
will always be there for me. I will never forget those moments. Thank you,
but I can
Akira
still appreciate
let's see. Well, I never
what
had
Akira
any interest in anime and Dragon Ball as a whole. I understand how Akira Toriyama was an influential figure in anime and manga. Also, thanks for mentioning the creator of the Backyardians, Janice Burgess, passing away. I remember watching the Backyardians when I was a child. That show was a big part of my childhood. All right, that is nice. And I think I'll just read one more comment here. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, Janice Burgess, and especially Eric Carmen, who just passed away yesterday. At least he won't be all by himself.
The Backyardians.
Yes, well, we're going to go on to our first break now. And when we do return, there will be another passing that we will talk about. But this will not be about a person, but rather a major studio. So, not a major studio, but definitely a fan favorite one. So, stay tuned for that.
Oh, the Backyard. Okay, I think I remember seeing this.
All right, we're back. And before I continue, I just realized, looking into the chat wall, that I might have done a little bit of a mistake.
I didn't immediately recognize the name because
there was a G that I was missing when I was talking about Janice
probably because he had a different name in Portuguese. But yeah, I think I remember watching this when I was a kid as well.
Backyardigans. So sorry for that little mistake there, folks.
Hi there, Scrod. I did see that post on Twitter. Congratulations.
Yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not someone who grew up with backyardigans, so
looks like you weren't the only one that hit affiliate. No, that hit their milestone.
Anyways, let's
Queen
get
also
back to
became
our
affiliate.
next story that we got here. And this one, like I said before, this is technically another passing, but not necessarily a passing, but this is a shutdown, unfortunately. And maybe this is not necessarily as big of a shutdown as Blue Sky Studios a few years back, but this is still one that is a significant loss, especially when it is the creator of many fan-favorite shows. And with that said, let us go into our next story in regards to Rooster Teeth. Yes, it has officially been announced that Rooster Teeth, the studio that brought you many favorite shows, including Ruby, Red vs. Blue, Genlock, Camp Camp, and more,
this is a while back.
Going to be shutting down.
This video is a month old.
This has officially been revealed.
And we change your fucking Twitch portfolio. Right, I saw that. You switched it to your PNG model.
Has, said that
I guess
they
you
are
took
officially going to
inspiration
go
from
and
me.
let go of Rooster Teeth. And when it comes to the individual shows that they have, whether it be stuff that I've mentioned like Camp or Ruby.
Yeah, I guess that we ain't gonna be getting.
What was the other one? Like Red vs. Blue.
Ruby. Yeah, we ain't gonna be getting
some of the
a new season of Ruby.
Like their podcast.
Not that many people are
like Death Battle.
wanting a new season.
They're gonna go and try to sell that off. So there is a chance that maybe the franchises that they do have or that they have created, they will go and sell them off to other companies so that they can go and continue, but it looks like Rooster Teeth is most likely not.
Also, the online is still up for Supercharged on PS3. Really? I thought they shut it down.
Going to continue there. And there are going to be, unfortunately, a lot of layoffs that will come with it, in which I'll read from my source here on Variety, in which it says
did you check the Swap Force one?
Teeth will result in layoffs of its approximately
I was able to invite
150
you and play
full-time
online
employees
races.
and will throw dozens of
That was the PS4 version.
Love 15.
Yeah, you could invite shit with the PS4 version. I didn't know if you can. I didn't know. I thought. I've heard that they shut down the servers on the PS3 version, not the one on PS4.
Contractors and content creators out of work as well. At the same time, the people at Rooster Teeth did put out a memo discussing about their
I mean, there's a difference between inviting people and then people actually joining you. And people actually able to join you. Because you can, I'm pretty sure you can still send invites, but I doubt they can actually join you. Yeah, I'm just gonna check real quick the PSN profiles to see if anyone's gotten the trophy for that one trophy Swap Force. You're the only one playing right now on my friends list. Right, again. I think I can still send invites, but I can wait, in-game invites? But I don't know. If it was like that you invite them and they actually join you, then that'd be a completely different thing. But I don't know. If it's just you can just invite them and then they can't join you, then I guess that just means the servers are dead.
Player 1 to serve.
I mean, there has been one person who got the trophy recently, but I'm pretty sure he just hacked it.
30 love.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just hacked the fucking... I'm pretty sure he just hacked it.
40 love.
Let's see.
Player 1. Player
Yeah, right now I'm checking the the timestamps of when the guy got the trophies.
Love 15.
And everything seems fine for now.
Love 30. Love 40.
Difficulty. Let's see.
Game. Player 1.
Player
Player 1 to serve.
Yeah, I'm just wait. When did they get the trophy? It said that they got the trophy last month, but it's only been him, so I doubt he got it legitimately.
30 love.
Yeah, let me check.
Love.
I'm gonna order them. Gonna change like the order of the trophies to see.
Player 1.
It says here that he got it after it says here that he got it after after the fight with Grumshanks, which is where the thing shows up. I might have to check Swap Force afterwards. But I doubt still. I doubt it's gonna work. No, there is like a new message on like a recent forum post here in PSN profiles. Let me check here. Yeah, sure.
Player 1 to serve.
Let's see. Tuesday.
Love 30.
Very similar.
Love 40. Game. Player 2. Player 2 to serve.
Still odd. Still really odd. There's just been one guy that managed to get the trophy recently.
Love.
Right, what about the PS4 version though? Yeah, let me check the PS4 version as well. Although with the PS4 version, you need PlayStation Plus for that, or to be able to get the trophy, even if it did work.
40 love. Game. Player 2. Player 1 to serve.
Yep, last time anyone got the PS4 version of Swap, that one trophy in the PS4 version, it was back in 2022, and I'm pretty sure that was just a hacker.
15 all.
Most likely, yeah. Yeah, but let me check.
30-15. All.
What the hell did I completely miss?
30-40.
Yeah, let's see. Come on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a hacker.
Set and match. Player 2.
Doesn't hurt to check later though. I doubt it works, but it doesn't hurt to check. the one recent for the PS4 version of the trophy, he pretty much hacked it because the timestamps say he got all the trophies in pretty much the same fucking time. Yeah, they all say the same shit. They all say the same thing, so he pretty much hacked it. At least the PS4 version. The PS3 version, it does look like he got it legitimately. Because I think from what I understand with auto-popping trophies, is that you can't like make it so that only one trophy pops. I think. Although it did show off that one of them. Although it did show that only like a few of them only pop, but the last guy that I saw on the PS3 version, it did make sense the timestamp when he got the trophy, which if you don't know, the signboard only shows up after the fight with Glumshanks, and in terms of like the order of the trophies, it did get it immediately after the fight, so it does check out. Weird. But yeah, after we're done with this, I'll go and check Swap Force real quick. Just be safe. Although I'm pretty sure that it still does the same thing, where after some point the game just crashes when you put a character on. We'll see.
40 love.
Get the shit out of here. How's this? This is what I got.
Game, set, and match.
Yeah, I was looking the exact same one. Yeah, when I checked that, I went to their profiles and saw and checked the order of the trophies that they got when they got the trophies for the game. And at least with the first one, Expensive 3, it does check out. I just don't know if it's like legit. I mean, it's not too far off that only one person got the trophy because, you know, the PS4 version of Swap Force is very rare. So I wouldn't blame them if it was only like a few people that got it recently. But still very suspicious.
Legacy and what has recently happened. So in their own words, they did
I'm gonna
put
have to
out
check later.
A bit of a memo to
And
the
if
staff
it
there.
actually is legit, I might actually be able to get the platinum.
Dear Rooster Teeth, since our founders created and uploaded their first video on the then called World Wide Web in 2003,
Then I have to check if I can do that as well in the
laughter
the
and
PS4
lasting innovation
version.
in the widely volatile media industry.
But I think with the PS4
we've
version,
read
you
the
need
headlines
PlayStation
about
Plus for
industry-wide
it.
layoffs and
Yeah, I'm
closures,
pretty
and
sure.
You've heard me give my perspective and updates on the rapidly changing state of media and entertainment during each of our monthly all-hands meeting. Since the inheriting ownership and control of Rooster Teeth from AT&T following its acquisition of Time Warner, Warner Bros. Discovery continued its investment in our company, content, and community. Now, however, it is with a heavy heart I announce that Rooster Teeth is shutting down due
Very
to
odd.
challenges facing digital media resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and
It's either that
monetization
or
across
someone
platforms,
managed to
advertising,
connect it.
and patronage. Please note that the Roost team is not currently
But it
impacted
didn't
by
look
this
like he
action.
hacked it.
The
He
Roost
hacked it.
podcast
The timestamps of the trophies did seem legit.
Let me just go and, phrase that without sounding
They
like Porky
seemed
Pig.
legit.
The Roost Podcast Network will continue operating and fulfilling its obligations while WBD evaluates outside interest in acquiring this growing asset. In the coming days and weeks, we will have many questions to answer and the opportunity to work together to implement the best way to wind things down for us and our community. We're working through what comes next in real time, and will be as open, direct, and accessible as possible. Thank you all in advance for your patience and support one another. And then from there, they would go and discuss about their legacy, their history, and what they have done over the years with many of their shows, how they started and how they ran as a company. So from there, this is all to go and say that Rooster Teeth is about to come to an end. Now, this is a bit of an unexpected shock, but for some, though, it's worth mentioning that some were not really that surprised.
There have been, even before this announcement, there have been some rumors that they weren't going to greenlit the next season
because,
of Ruby.
It's actually been a whole decade since they were having difficulties trying to accumulate some profits needed in order to actually find some revenue, because the company has always been in the red since 2014. But why is it? Well, how is it that
that's not surprising though. Twitch has also been in the red for quite some time.
Capable of making very successful shows like Ruby, Red vs. Blue, Genlock, Camp, and more. How is it that they were failing in order to make some money? Was it
Death
the
Battle,
project themselves being over budgeted? Well, no. In fact, the biggest clue to what I just said was actually what I've mentioned. When is it that they started to become unprofitable? It was 10 years ago, back in 2014. And this is an obvious clue to what happened, because there was a very significant thing that has occurred during
the pass
that
away
time.
of the
In fact,
the director of Ruby, I think.
Right over here, this little paragraph. To which, hold on a sec, let me just, let me do that correctly. It says here that in 2014, Rooster Teeth was bought by Fullscreen, which, if you don't know, Fullscreen back then was this, or at least it was one of the big multi-channel networks. It was kind of like the big YouTube agency that people would connect with in order to gain some revenue on YouTube. But anyways, so they were bought out by Fullscreen, which in turn was bought by Otter Media, a joint venture of AT&T and Chernin Group, before Rooster Teeth became part of Warner Media under AT&T's ownership. In 2022, Discovery closed the acquisition of Warner Media to form Warner Brothers Discovery. So as you could see, there was a chain of events that occurred in which Rooster Teeth was continuously under new ownership. In 2014, it started out where they got bought out by Fullscreen. And then, a little bit later,
and then it all went to shit when they got bought out
by Otter Media, which puts Rooster Teeth under AT&T. And then a little sometime later, AT&T acquired Warner Media, which means from there, AT&T decided to take Rooster Teeth and put them under Warner Media to make them an affiliate or at least a division
part of Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But then suddenly, sometime later, enter Discovery, where they decided to do that big merger with Warner Media in order to become Warner Brothers Discovery, in which, from there, Rooster Teeth became an association of Warner Brothers Discovery. And there is where you will find the decline
kept
in
fucking
their
switching
profits.
around fucking companies.
It was
I think that's
mainly
what it was.
because they were never that big of a priority in the first place. Like, when they were an independent company, of course, their biggest priority was Rooster Teeth. It was maintaining their company. But then they were being bought out again and again and again. You know that little image of, like, you got that little fish, and then suddenly a bigger fish would go and eat it, and then suddenly an even bigger fish would go and eat it. Yeah, it's pretty much something like that in which it would occur. Because, like, that little fish, since the very beginning, like, that is just, like, a small thing compared to the bigger fishes that it was being consumed. So, from there, Rooster Teeth became less and less of a priority the bigger that their parent company would go and become, making it even harder in order for the company to actually become profitable, and that things quickly went downhill from there. And this is even without mentioning the quality of the shows,
like advertising their shit, because it was less of a priority, I guess.
I haven't fully gone into the history of those, but I know that there is a little bit of a controversy with the Rooster Teeth shows where, in terms of their quality and how fans have...
I should ask someone in Skylanders Discord servers if they have the PS3 version of Superchargers. I want to see if the co-op actually works. Do that, and then also ask if if anyone has either the PS3 or the PS4 version of Swap Force, and then check if they can interact with the news board, with the signboard at the start of Woodborough. Yeah, ask that too, because now I'm become curious on that.
How fans would feel about them. Like, it's a bit of a roller coaster. Like, sometimes things would go great, and sometimes things would, like, go really bad. And some creative decisions would end up making some fans really, really angry. So, that, like, yeah, there is that factor where sometimes the satisfactory of fans with those shows, no matter how big they are, like, it can be a bit more or less from there. But still, though, the big significant thing is really because Rooster Teeth has ultimately become another failed acquisition story. It's the fact that they got bought out by bigger companies, and that the bigger company felt like, well, that's not much of a priority, so they have to go and make a sacrifice. In a way, like the way that Rooster Teeth shut down is kind of similar to what happened to Blue Sky Studios, where they ended up being acquired by Disney, and that Blue Sky was just never a big priority at the company because Disney already had two major animation studios going on. So when it was time to go and make some sacrifices when COVID hit hard, they decided, well, unfortunately, they had to go and let go of Blue Sky Studios. A controversial decision, but like that was part of the reason why we don't have Blue Sky Studios to this day. However, when it comes to Rooster Teeth, like going back to this, it is worth mentioning, though, that Rooster Teeth in itself is not a perfect company. Like, to go and pin the blame entirely
on the shit
on
that
David
they did with
Zaslav
Ruby
and Warner Brothers Discovery would honestly be very disingenuous, because there is a part of it in which Rooster Teeth is also in itself to blame for its own downfall.
Yeah.
Especially with the controversies.
It's really the guy that puts the stick in front of the bicycle and he falls and makes himself crash.
Or maybe you have not. But unfortunately, Rooster Teeth also has a very controversial history of toxicity
and a very toxic fan base.
Workplace. In fact, there have been several employees
mostly just Ruby,
throughout the years, or at least in the past few
going to
years,
Rooster Teeth as
they
well.
actually opened up in terms of like the crunch culture that is within Rooster Teeth, where they were given very little time in order to go and finish these projects, that they have to keep on working overtime. The pay was not that great, and there are times when they were just not paid at all. And not to mention that there have been a long history of bigotry that is within Rooster Teeth, that some of the higher ups there, that they would just fill the environment with racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, like whatever form of bigotry
any type of phobia. It's like they're trying to catch all them Pokemon.
So like not only was there mismanagement from the parent companies in terms of how they could go and handle Rooster Teeth, but there is also a lot of mismanagement that would go on within Rooster Teeth, that it is not a well-managed company, to the point that like it would be destructive. It's a little bit similar, like again going back to Blue Sky Studios, it's a little bit similar to what happened to their fate, where you cannot 100% blame Disney as to what happened within the studio, where like there is a tiny part of it that it is the company's own fault. And it's the same thing with Rooster Teeth. Because of its history of like having this toxic work environment, I mean, there is a bit of a debate that
Rooster Teeth aren't the only one that do that shit, especially from Warner Brothers.
This would have happened regardless.
Yeah,
and
I doubt Rooster
Teeth
is the only one that does that shit.
You gotta keep in mind, there was a bit of a moment in which Vic Mignogna used to work at Rooster Teeth, where he was one of the voice actors of Ruby. And he was staying there for quite a while. He stayed within the show until he was called out for many of his predatory actions, for the way that he would treat others, whether it be co-workers or guests at conventions, especially being predatory
I'll check
even
the
towards
PS4 version of
minors.
Swap
So
Force.
they would have to go
Do you have
and
PS
kick
Plus?
them out. Which I mean,
Because I'm
it
pretty
is a
sure
good
you need
thing,
them.
but
PS Plus to
honestly,
interact with the
it's something
signpost.
that they should have probably done a bit earlier, especially knowing the kind of R. Kelly-style predator that Vic Mignogna was, or it still is. Who knows? But the whole thing with Rooster Teeth is that, yeah, they have their own set of controversies,
there we go.
and
You
they
can't-
don't have to
can't really
relate
do that
to
if you
the
don't have
shows
PS Plus.
that they would create themselves. But still, though,
Because for some
that
fucking
is
reason,
a
that shit's
contributing
locked behind
factor
that
has
service.
to be talked about when it comes to their own downfall. And when they would go and brew this kind of toxicity, there's going to come a time when karma would go and come back. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case here. Again, we cannot fully blame Warner Brothers Discovery as to what happened. And I mean, yeah, they definitely are.
If you can
but
ask
Rooster Teeth
anyone
should
on the
have also
Skylanders
picked up some of
Discord
their
if
own
the
slack in order to try to go
if anyone
and improve
is
themselves
able to like
and improve their
interact
work
with the
environment
signpost
to show that they have their crap
on
in
the
order,
on the PS4
and
version
that,
of Swap Force,
honestly, I
if
would
they
say
have
that
PlayStation Plus,
if it weren't for all,
so that
like,
I don't have to
if it weren't for all the bigotry,
waste money
if
getting
it
it
weren't
and
for
then
the
checking it out for
mismanagement, if it weren't
myself.
for the crunch culture, then Rooster Teeth
And with the
would have been a
PS3
bit
version,
more
I can do it
profitable
pretty easily.
than
I
it
don't have
is
to get
right now.
PS
So
Plus
that's
for that
also
shit.
another thing that is
The
worth
PS4
bringing
version,
up.
you do need to
But
get
yeah,
PS Plus.
but still though, it is still unfortunate that Rooster Teeth had to go, you know? Like, it is still sad that it had to shut down. It is very unfortunate that like you got around 150 people who are going to be losing their jobs because of this decision right there. You know, I do, you know, to all those people who did get fired, I do wish them the very best, and that hopefully soon they'll get themselves back on their feet, that they'll quickly find another job so that they can remain financially stable. So overall, this is just something that I do want to go and talk about, especially with a big thing like an entire studio shutting down. It sucks to see, you hate to see it, but sometimes like things like that would happen, especially with Warner Brothers Discovery
okay.
when
Stuff
their
like this
business is
happens,
failing
right?
hard
You know,
with
that
David
fucking line from
Zaslav.
Battlefield 2042.
So when they're at the point that they have to make sacrifices, I guess it goes to show that Rooster Teeth has always been a low priority at WBD. Alright, so with that said, now I would like to go into the chat wall, and I'd like to ask you all, how do you feel about the shutdown of Rooster Teeth? And if you have any thoughts in regards to any of the
It does
shows
seem
that
like
they
it was
have
an
made, if you've been a
inevitability
fan
that
of
the
like Red vs.
Rooster
Blue or
Teeth shutting
Ruby and
down.
stuff like that, I would love
Most
to know what you
likely,
think.
because again, they've been in the
Alright,
red
so,
for since 2014.
let's see what we got here. So,
It was just an
this
inevitability.
really sucks.
It was just
While
more of a
I
miracle
myself
that they
am not
managed to
familiar
last
with
this
Rooster
long.
Teeth, I won't deny that they definitely made some great content. Also, with the amount of stuff that happened within the studio, I kind of understand why this would happen. So, for one, I think it's safe to say that David Zaslav and Warner Brothers is not fully to blame for something for once, which is a sentence I never thought to say. Yeah, I would say, like, honestly, if I would have to put in a percentage,
The higher-ups aren't
David
to blame
Zaslav and
this
Warner Brothers
time?
is like 80%
Shocking,
to
I know.
blame on this. I mean, they're the ones who actually made that whole decision, but ultimately, I would say 80% of it is their fault, and 20% of it is Rooster Teeth's own doing. Let's see what we got. Rooster Teeth was one of those studios that a lot of people online, including me, talked about. My favorite shows would be Red vs. Blue, and I thought Ruby was just alright. But after hearing the allegations of toxic workplace, I just avoided Rooster Teeth because of that. I did message a friend of mine who worked at Rooster Teeth, and she seemed to not have any emotions about it. I honestly don't blame her. Rooster Teeth, you will be missed, but it is kind of your own fault. Also, I do hope everyone will find another job soon.
Yeah, same thing would happen to Blue
Rooster
Sky.
Teeth
I
is
just hope
another
that they
cautionary
actually
tale
manage to
on how
like jump back
mismanagement
into
is
other
never
stuff.
always
Not
rewarding
just
in the long run.
no, stay
Being an animation
unemployed.
fan is sometimes suffering when bearing both Rooster Teeth and Glitch
Because,
Productions' recent controversies in mind.
The entertainment
Yeah,
industry
you
is
know,
not very
I
stable.
have heard about the Glitch Productions controversy.
It is not a
and I
not a
mean,
very stable job.
You can you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I do
Especially
believe there was
in the video
there was,
game
like,
department,
a voice actor
especially
who
nowadays.
unexpectedly got replaced and wasn't aware of that. I mean, I know Anime America like really chronicled that well, but I am aware that like even Glitch Productions have their own drama that they got to go and settle. So that is something that I am fully aware of.
I mean, I think they did
let's
resolve
see.
that shit.
I used to watch Red versus Blue a lot, so it's a shame to see.
It was just like one of the voice directors that randomly decided to fire one of the voice casts out of nowhere. I don't know why. I think they probably the CEOs probably did some. Luke and the other guy, the main heads of Glitch, probably did something to that director or some shit. Because you can't just fucking fire anyone out of nowhere for no fucking reason. So they probably fixed that at some point. And then the whole Luke getting fucking doxxed on Twitter and shit. At least that got somewhat solved.
I don't condone the mismanagement behind
it's
the
never
scenes,
fun to fucking
but
get
if they
doxxed.
threw those guys out and brought in someone a bit more competent, they probably would have made it out of those slumps. This goes to WB as well, so Godspeed Rooster Teeth. And yeah, like honestly, throughout the years where they would have like parent companies, like honestly, that's another group of people to blame. Like this is another reason why Warner Brothers should also be to blame on this. Mainly because of the fact that they always treated Rooster Teeth as a low priority, and that they didn't really do much when it comes to all the mismanagement that has been reported. You'd think that they would take action and get rid of the toxic people and the people who are bigoted, like get rid of all the transphobes, the homophobes, the racists, the misogynists, and all that kind of stuff, and bring in more competent people in order to make business better. Like, they could have done something, but clearly they did
nothing.
All they've done is just shut the studio down.
And let that thing just waste money until recently.
The biggest concern for me regarding Rooster Teeth is what's going to happen to Death Battle. I remember loving that show back in the Screw Attack days. Not even the hosts are sure what will happen, which stinks because they were planning season 11. They were even planning to bring Wile E. Coyote into the show. Wait a minute. No, but I said before, from what I've heard, apparently they're going to take the franchises and they're going to put them off on sale. Like, they're going to auction them off, like, with Ruby, Genlock, Camp, and maybe even Death Battle. There is a chance that they're going to go and sell that. So, I honestly, like, the future is uncertain, and I mean, as we have recently seen, when it comes to Warner Brothers trying to sell something, like, often it doesn't really work out, so who knows? Like, we cannot say that
because
they don't
have much value on them,
but you never know. Like, the future of those franchises are just questionable. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Let's see. While it is sad when studios get shut down like Rooster Teeth, I think it is for the best, especially with the allegations behind the scenes of that studio, and hope the workers there will get new jobs soon. Reminds me of the Weinstein Company, when we already know what happened to that studio because of you know who. In fact, Stephen Ellison, aka Mr. Code, did a video of that on YouTube, and of course, he was recently a guest on the show. But yeah, honestly, there are some times where, like, it is reasonable as to why when you would hear some of the controversies that would happen, where, yes, like in the case right over here with Rooster Teeth, it is unfortunate that it would have to shut down, but when you do look into the history and what happened behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, it's like...
Again, they've been in the red for a really long time, so
there's
again,
a part of it where you know
it's just more surprising that they managed to last
and
this long.
how their fate
And
was
just always
suddenly
losing money.
lost. All right, I think I'm going to read one more comment before we go into the next story. So let's see, what do we have here? It's very, it is very unfortunate that, or actually, I got two. I think I'll have room for two. It is very unfortunate that Rooster Teeth is gone. I often consider it one of the indie animations that became popular alongside Has Been Hotel. One question is, what would happen to Death Battle? I've already answered that question, or at least
I wouldn't say
or at least
Ruby
my
is as
guess of
popular
it.
as Hasbro and
Anyways,
Mattel. Yeah,
I'm not
definitely
familiar
not as
with Rooster Teeth
popular.
other than collaborating with DC with
Yeah,
the
ever
Justice
since
League
like
and Ruby
Hasbro
direct-to-video
Mattel,
movies,
Helva
but
Boss, and
I didn't
especially
expect this
Glitch Productions
company
have been
would get shut
a
down. I
thing.
am aware
People
of its
just completely
controversial
forgotten about
practices, but it
Rooster
seems
Teeth's
like
animation.
they were gonna go down a path in how business is going. It seems sad, but hope the animators find another job. So yeah, this is honestly something again that really is worth mentioning because, well, as much as we don't want it to happen, it can occur in which some notable animation studios would cease to exist. Alright, so we're gonna go on to our next break, and I think it is time that we shall go and lighten up the mood. And what better way to go and lighten up the mood by checking out the return of our favorite emotions, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, is this gonna be a trailer for Inside Out 2?
Onto our
I think that's what it
next
is, yeah.
Story. And
I think I did
like
see
I said
a
before,
little bit of the
even
trailer.
though we started things off on a little bit of a low note, a bit of a sad note, where we have to say goodbye to Akira Toriyama, to Janice Burgess, and to Rooster Teeth. But now let's go and look ahead into the future with a lot more hope, with a lot more positivity, especially when I have two trailers here for what are right now two of the most anticipated animated features of the year. And the first one that we have, well, technically, it has already been the one of, if not the most anticipated animated film of 2024.
Animated
And
sequel,
even
if
though we
if
had
it's
no
the
idea what it
movie I'm
is or
thinking of.
what the story would entail, we just know that, well, we are familiar with the first movie, and that's what will get us excited for the second. But now we do have a bit more of an idea of what is to come with this movie in particular. And oh boy!
In the speedrun Discord, someone said that they did a few online co-op runs in Superchargers. Did they say if they did it on like PS3, Xbox 360, or was it on the newer consoles?
Is the intrigue high for this
Yes,
one?
yeah,
So
okay.
with that said, let us now go and take a look at the
Strange, because
trailer
I think
for
I
the
heard
upcoming
they're shutting down the
anticipated
servers for the
sequel,
PS the
Inside
late
Out
gen versions.
2.
Maybe I misheard. Or they somehow went back into working. I don't
And
know.
that is
Again, we'll check if
Inside Out 2.
Swap Force PS3 works.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yes, that.
I'll do if you. I mean, Scrod, if you have Swap Force on Xbox 360, I think you can check it that way as well.
Is Inside Out 2, to which the movie shall be coming soon to theaters.
If it works on Xbox 360, then I'm pretty sure it's gonna work on PS3 as well.
I've talked about Inside Out several times, in fact, and I would even say that not only is it one of my favorite Pixar movies out there, but I would even say it is one of the best animated features of the 20.
It needs Xbox Live for the 360. What do you mean Xbox Live? But the signpost? I already told you. You don't need Xbox. Wait, you need Xbox Live? Online subscription. Yeah, I know what Xbox Live is. You need Xbox Live for that shit. Let's see. Swap Force Newsworthy 360. For Supercharger. I'm not talking about Supercharger Scrod. I'm talking about fucking Swap Force. I don't care about Supercharger's co-op. I care about the fucking Swap Force Newsworthy trophy.
Player 1 to serve.
Let's see.
$30 love. Game, player 1. Player 2 to serve.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't need Xbox Live for get the trophy in that game. So if you have the game, you should probably just check it.
The 10 decades. So already I was pretty excited and optimistically curious to see what Pixar would have in store with the second one. Because beforehand, the most that we would know is just the fact that, well, like, we're gonna get new emotions in, Riley is gonna become a teenager, and that was pretty much it. Like, we would just go from there. But now with this one, I'm not gonna lie, this thing really caught my interest. And I think really the one that really got me very curious is actually regards to all the new emotions. Not just with anxiety, but now like we fully see who is Henri,
like the one on the left,
with envy, right, and also embarrassment. Which also, a friend of mine, Ryan, actually pointed this out. That I forgot his name. Chatwall, you could go and help me out with this. But
pretty sure the left one probably
is
has to be
actually going to be
anxiety.
voiced by the same guy who voiced Dark in Orion and the Dark. So honestly, it's kind of a funny transition to see
And
the guy
one
going
just
from
indifference,
black
maybe?
to suddenly becoming pink, and not to mention being this like this metaphorical embodiment. Yeah, Paul yeah, thank you so much. Paul Walker Hauser. So basically, in 2024, we just saw Paul Walker Hauser going from one cartoon embodiment of this factor of life to another one right over here, and especially a big one as well. Like, honestly, it's funny to see all the different parallels between Dark and embarrassment, and just from watching this trailer here. But so it is interesting that we do see some new emotions and a little bit more complex emotions, not just with the standard ones like with joy, fear, sadness, anger, and disgust, but now we also have, like, on top of anxiety, well, like I said, embarrassment, ennui, and envy. But what I find to be very interesting, and this is the thing that honestly caught me off guard and really, like, shows me, okay, now things really got interesting.
Is it also directed by Pete
It's
Docter?
the fact that, are these villains? Because the whole thing is that, like, we see at some point where they would take, like, the emotions of the first, and, like, right over here,
assume that they also
than all of you. You can't just bottle us up.
yeah, like, and they would just throw them away, so now the new emotions would have to be in charge, and I'm just there like, wait, they're villains? Like,
or just
characters
antagonists.
like ennui, anxiety, like, apparently they're gonna be, like, the new bad guys here? Like, okay, maybe, like, maybe villains is gonna be a bit of a harsh word. I don't know if they're gonna be, like, full-on antagonists in the ranks that
like
were in
obstacles.
the levels that we would see, like, recently.
Because in terms
with,
of like
the
a mental,
in
in a way of
War,
looking at it,
King
mental
Magnifico
way,
in Wish.
it does make sense.
You know, like, what I'm saying is that
When you become a
apparently we're
teenager,
gonna have,
some
like, more
emotions get more of a hold of you than
apparently
others.
we're gonna have antagonists in Inside
Especially
Out,
if you're a fucking
which
teen
honestly
girl.
brings in a new level, like this new intriguing layer. And the way they are presenting it so far in this trailer, like, it's not just like, oh, let's have a villain for the sake of having a villain. No, like, they're showing us that there is a legit reason, something that does connect with Riley and her pursuit of becoming a teenager, of growing up in a way, and now having these more complex emotions now being in charge of her head, and how she will go and pursue it, especially now that she's entering high school, now that she's going to have some new friends, now that she's going to enter into this new level in hockey and stuff like that. So, like, Riley is entering into a new stage in life, and now you got these new emotions that are forcing their way into forcing their way into making that transition. So honestly, like right there, like just that concept, like even if they're just antagonistic, that like maybe by the end, like there'll be some compromises with people like Joy and Anxiety and stuff. Like still, the idea of them having antagonists and presenting it this way already sounds fantastic. Already sounds like, okay, like you got a great idea, and honestly, it does make it a legit reason for an Inside Out 2.
They're gonna do with it.
Like, this isn't just throwing in a sequel for the sake of a sequel. They have an idea. They got a plan. They got a legitimate story to why there should be an Inside Out 2, and that I condone them for that. And also, another thing that I do like, and this is a continuation from what we have received in the first, is that now we are taking these emotional concepts, and now they're turning them as ideas for the world building. And one great example that we have seen, of course, is with the sarcasm.
I don't blame you.
And,
even when
honestly,
I asked for help, it took
at
them.
First,
They either didn't respond, or they took a real long fucking time to respond. Just being fucking sarcastic. Just get a fucking sarcastic response
We
from
ran
them.
into you guys. Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys.
Wow, those guys are jerks. Wow, those.
Like, okay, like, literally the sarcasm that it echoes out to just sound like, to sound very, very, well, sarcastic. Like, honestly, that is actually pretty good. And as you may have heard, we actually got a surprise return of an actor that, for a while, we think he wouldn't be coming back, but as it turns out, yep, he has returned to his home at Pixar. What you have heard, like, calling the Inside Out emotions jerks, is none other than John Ratzenberger. Yes, he is going to be coming back, and I mean, considering that there is going to be a Toy Story 5, it shouldn't be that big of a surprise that he would eventually come back, especially
There's going to be another Toy Story movie?
So, with him returning to Pixar, that is like a nice thing to see. And on top of that, it is worth mentioning that there are some other actors who will be returning to Inside Out 2 as well. One thing that, honestly, as a Muppet fan, I am actually excited for is that we are also going to see the return of both Frank Oz and Dave Goelz onto this feature. And on top of that, they even mentioned that another prominent figure of the Muppets, Kirk Thatcher, will also be adding his voice onto the movie. So that's, honestly, even maybe they're just going to be like cameos or something like that. That's still going to be exciting to go and check out. And I mean, of course, I think it's also worth mentioning that the animation, of course, is still absolutely gorgeous. Like, what they have done so far, it is definitely great, especially not just with the new design of the characters, but on top of that, like, when you go into when you do see, like, the world of Inside Out, like, with all the characters and stuff, like, especially with what's happening in Riley's mind,
the brand new constructions
returning to that area. Honestly, it's it still looks gorgeous, and not to mention also the contrast of what is happening in the real world as well. Like, that's another thing that is absolutely beautiful, and that, and it's honestly one of the things that I really do love about Inside Out, just the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast between what's going on inside their heads and the real life, which they tend to, like, sometimes match the emotions and shit.
That's going on
like a very clever
reality in Riley's actual world. Honestly, I think this is one of the best examples of using cartoony animation, not just for the aesthetic of it, not just because of, like, it's a style, but it's mainly because there is this narrative purpose to it. And honestly, seeing that return as well is going to be fantastic. So overall, with Inside Out 2, now I feel like I got much more of a reason to actually be excited for this. To be honestly anticipated for Inside Out 2, much more than the fact that it is just an Inside Out 2. Now, is this going to be a masterpiece as much as the first? Honestly, maybe not. Like, I am open
doubtful.
to the idea that there is a possibility.
It's most
that
likely
we
they're
will
just
see
going
a
to be
downgrade from the
slightly
first
not
to
as
the
good,
second.
or
But
maybe
so far
around the
from
same.
what they are from what we are
around
presenting
the same
here, or
point.
what we are seeing here.
Yeah, just as good
It
or
honestly
slightly
looks
not
like
as
it is
good.
still going to be a great movie, regardless. Like the animation looks very spot on. The use of the
Yeah,
characters,
it's gonna
both
be
old and new,
very hard
honestly,
to like
it's fantastic.
do better than
and
the first
carrying
one,
on the
because most
legacy
sequels they don't do
of
that.
what is
No,
happening
most of them.
inside Riley's mind and showing these visual metaphors of emotions and what's happening in our brain, like that is still alive and well and is still being put to good use. So honestly, I am definitely hyped for this one, and now I feel like I am ready to see the return of Inside Out, the Inside Out characters. So if you are as excited as I am to see Inside Out 2, then keep in mind that it will be coming to theaters on June 14th. And with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall now, and I'd like to ask you all,
14,
what
huh?
do
So
you
just
all think about the
a month
trailer
from now.
of Inside Out 2? Are you guys hyped up for it? Are you excited to see more of what's to come? Or do you disagree with me and you're pretty iffy on that? Let me know what you think. And also, I'm gonna go and make a little poll here on not on Patreon, I was about to say that, on Twitch, and I'm just gonna go and quickly ask, what do you all think? Just to go and all ask, let's see, are you excited for Inside Out 2? And I will go
It's probably gonna
and
be
say,
most likely majority
yes,
saying yes.
and also no. All right, so let's go and put that up, see what you guys say, while I will go and read what people say here on the chat wall. Okay, let's see here. Might as well go and start things off with, of course, from the Pixar girl. And it says here, "Aw, this looks fun. Envy is so adorable.
Definitely I
I
do.
want to adopt her. Anxiety,
Never
planning
trust the
for
girl
the
in the
future.
name.
That actually makes sense. Anxiety is a panic mess and fearing everything. So yeah, planning sounds contradictory, but does make sense. I'm surprised Envy isn't the sort of jealous, angry person, but a little being. Also, Ratzenberger's back. Guess things didn't work out with his bestie, eh? I do worry that it'll repeat the first film with the 5 trying to get back, but I still like it. Yeah, and that's honestly the one little criticism that I would have, is that there are those little traces that feel like narratively they're repeating what they have done in the first film. But then again, I feel like there's way more pros than there are cons in this, at least from what we have been seeing in the trailer. So I'm not gonna let the problems take away my excitement for this feature. Okay, let's see what else we have. Well, I could say this really has my attention, and honestly kind of deep to think about. Movie-wise, it does have my interest to know what's going to happen, and I do see how things might be, how this might be a worthy sequel to the first film. Not to mention, I think the comedy is pretty on point, and it's nice to hear John Ratzenberger come back. It even gave me deep thought I never thought of, even from having anxiety myself. I never thought I'd be that much trouble than just being too ambitious. Oh yeah, like honestly, this is also another great thing. If it can manage to help you change the way you think in terms of what's going on in your mind and what happens with your emotions, then honestly, we might have a major winner. Like if it's able to go and recreate that magic that the first film had, then that is what is going to make it a worthy successor to the first Inside Out. Even if it might be like a slight downgrade as a movie,
it's most likely,
like if it can go and pull that off, then
most likely it's just
it'll
gonna be as good or
movie.
slight downgrade.
Alright,
It's
let's
gonna
see
be
what else we
very
have.
fucking difficult to be actually
Yeah, this
better
movie
than
still
the
looks
original.
like the perfect Inside Out sequel. Not only is the expansion of Riley's mind absolutely incredible, but the joke with the sarcasm caught me way off guard, and the new emotions are a delight, with Envy being a personal favorite. It may or may not be because of me being an Ayo Edebiri fan. Also, how do they explain headaches? That's my question. Honestly, yeah,
Headaches?
I'm not sure.
I mean, they
Because
did explain the first
they
one,
did show in the
brain
first, like, how
freeze.
brain freezes work. So I wonder,
Yeah,
like,
again, so
how
it
do
wouldn't be
head-
too
you know,
far
how do
off them
headaches
explaining
function?
what a headache
And
is.
by the way, it is, like, I would say it is near unanimous in terms of people's excitement. For those of you who have voted, with the exception of just one person, all of you said yes,
Oh, it's
you
gonna
are
be a
excited
contrarian.
for Inside Out 2, so the hype really is on for that. Alright, let's see now. Let's see. First off is Paul Walter Hauser that you mispronounced. Oh, sorry about that. 2, for the look of this film, while I do dig the new emotions and explore Riley's teenage life, as I've seen in the first film, my biggest concern is the potential rehash when Joy and her friends get separated from Riley's mind, like with the first film. I don't think it will be as amazing as the first film, but I do hope that it'll look great. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's like the big.
I mean, back
now, that
in the
seems
first
to be,
one,
like,
it
the
was
biggest
just the
obstacle.
sadness
That's the
and
biggest
joy.
concern that we got
And it
with
does look
Inside
like
Out
in this
2.
one, there's gonna
Are
be
they
like the
just
whole
gonna go and
original
copy the
gang
plot from the
getting
first
outside
film
of the
and just
center
integrate
of
that
their mind.
onto
So I don't know.
onto
We'll see.
Inside Out 2. Like, that is the biggest worry, and that looks like it may be the case based on what we are seeing in the trailer. But hopefully there will be more creative spins to it.
Yeah, hopefully there's
that
more
they will
to
still
it.
find a
There's
way
just
to make
more
to make the
characters compared
experience
to the
unique.
first one outside of
Let's see what
the
other
big area.
comments that we
the
have
main area.
here. Let's see. Anybody else have anything to say? From what we see with the new emotions, they have some promises. Although the one confusion I have is that Envy looks like a bit happy than how Envy is usually portrayed. Also, the new girl Riley meets makes me wonder if she might be a friend or a love interest in the end. Honestly, I don't know. I know I've heard a lot of discussions. People might think that eventually Riley might hook up with that new girl. But one thing you gotta keep in mind is that Riley has a boyfriend. Like, you know that guy, like, you know that boy
she
that
did
she
have
bumps
one
into
in the original.
in the end of the first film? Yeah, eventually they actually do hook up. They actually do get into a relationship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
And
that was
there
like
are some little clues, like when you look
a
into
scene
some
at the end of
pictures
the
in
movie where
Riley's
she
mind
does actually
that
get a
apparently
boyfriend.
they are still together.
I have 3 out of 5 Inside Out characters for Disney Infinity.
So from
Okay,
there,
cool.
I don't know.
I was
Like,
never
I
really
think
into
Riley
Disney
is going
Infinity.
to remain
Again,
straight
if I ever get Disney Infinity, it's most likely just gonna be the gold editions on PC.
for now, or I think she will stay
When I pretty much
with
have
her
everything
boyfriend.
in the
So
get-go,
like
from
that
the
is
get-go,
something
yeah.
that is worth mentioning. That you got to keep in mind. I know there's a lot of confusion. Oh, is she gonna hook up with that new girl? But then again, like, Riley's already
Surprised
taken by a
Activision
guy.
didn't do the
that
same thing
is,
with the
you know,
Skylanders
one thing I
games.
just want to go and clarify. Let's see.
Angry
What other
Sadness.
comments would there be?
Okay.
Alright, I think I've already... No, I've already read that one. I think I'll read one
mean,
more
are
comment
they
before we
reread that
go on to
rep
our
yet?
next break. So,
Or
you already
just
know how
can't find
anticipated
them
I am for Pixar's
in your
Inside Out
local
2.
area.
We finally got our first official look at the rest of the emotions. Everything looks amazing so far. I do hope the film will be beloved by everyone. I noticed one of Riley's friends is that Latina girl and has a piece of pink hair. I believe my friend who's an associate producer did suggest this character. Ooh, interesting. John, I see that you may know a bit more than you want to bring
letting
up, or at
on.
least maybe you have probably signed an NDA on that
NDA
too.
most likely.
All right, but anyways, we're gonna go on to our next break, and we have
Can't find
another
them. I mostly
trailer
look
in
for
which we are going
Skylanders, to
to
be
check
honest, yeah.
out. But this one is
Skylanders
not a
has
sequel
always
to
been the
anything.
bigger
In fact,
one
this is a
compared
new
to all
original
the other
picture,
Toy Story
well,
stuff.
technically based on a book, but still, though,
Disney
this
3
is
got
something
close,
that
but
really
yeah,
caught a
he
lot of
just
people's
couldn't match the
attention,
Skylanders.
almost as much as Inside Out 2. So stay tuned for that.
15 love.
And we are back. Now, when it comes to our next story, it's a little bit similar to Inside Out 2, where we actually have a trailer of a movie that beforehand, we didn't necessarily really know what is going on with it. At the most, we know that it was based on a book, and that Chris Sanders is going to be coming back to go and
Chris
direct
Sanders?
this movie. So, honestly, the only people who really knew about what could be going on with it is just those who have read the book. I am not one of them, though, so honestly, I was left completely clueless. It's like, okay, so you got it's a movie about a robot,
Okay.
and
That's gonna
that's
be
it.
it for this
wasn't
slot. I'm gonna
until
have to
that they
change.
officially released
Not
the
done
trailer,
just yet. I have
where now we do
I have
have
changed
a
save
full
save
idea
slots so we
of
can
what's
continue
going
with
on.
more online
Considering that
tour.
DreamWorks Animation is already doing
And I already
way
used all
better
them, so I
this
have to
year,
delete
especially
one
with the
and
movies that
and
came
make
out,
a brand new
like
one.
with the critically praised Orion in the Dark on Netflix, and already Kung Fu Panda 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, that is off to a great start.
Halfway done.
But then coming this September, we got one more movie from the studio. So with that said,
yep,
let us
still
go
100.
and take a look at the trailer
What about
for their upcoming third movie of 2024, The Wild Robot.
Okay, delete this one. Player 1, yep.
And that is The
Mail.
Wild Robot, to which the movie is scheduled to be coming soon this September. And Chatwall, if you can help me out on that, I believe there actually is a specific date of when it's going to be coming out. I'm trying to think, like, is it like September 26th or something like that? Because I know it was announced before, but...
Hurry up.
No. People are saying right now it's apparently September 20th.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So it's September 20th that the movie shall be coming soon. And honestly, when I first saw this trailer, like honestly,
this is the
it was something that
online tour.
really caught me off guard. It was something that I was like, okay,
you don't have an infinite amount of fucking chances to do this, so you have to always create new save slot just to do more.
What the fridge? Like, what the fridge is this? Like, holy crap, this... I'll say right now, this is unlike anything that we have seen from DreamWorks Animation in recent years. Like, this really was one where I was blown away from the trailer. Like, I didn't know what to expect from the Wild Robot, but I certainly did not expect that. Like, okay, first and foremost, that animation. Like, holy crap. That animation is just freaking gorgeous right over here. Like, look at the scenery. Like, obviously,
not gonna lie, it does remind me a lot of
that is very similar
Shrek.
To
just from like the forest area,
where it has kind of this painterly like filter, and I would say even the designs, like when you look at some of the animals that are featured, they look like something that came straight out of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. In fact, I would even say like I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people who have actually worked on Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, like any of the character designers and stuff like that, if they've actually been involved with the Wild Robot. Like after they've worked on Last Wish, they would then jump onto this movie right over here. But yeah, like there is a bit of that stylized touch where it looks like it's like some of the DreamWorks concept art that's suddenly coming to life. And already you see like just this natural beauty that's just coming out of it. Like yeah, and even like the use of colors as well is also very reminiscent to what they did with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where like they are very bold. Like when there is something that you have to focus on, like with the lynx's eyes, like yeah, it immediately grabs your attention right there. And just like with the variety of animals that you see that the robot would go and interact, it's just already like just aesthetically with the animation, and not to mention just looking at the robot's journey, like adapting to like how the animals would go and live is a true sight to behold. Like honestly, seeing how the robot is trying to adapt, trying to survive, seeing how life works, and learning from the animals how to go and like navigate their way in the
probably
forest,
two more of these saves, and I should finally have online tour done. Yeah, probably. I just have to keep an eye on.
It's just
I have to keep an eye on my wins after this save
it looks like
file.
this could be the next Bambi in a sense. I know that's like an extremely bold claim, but it is.
Someone in Boombringer's Discord server like this, the Wheat Trap Team Discord on PS4. Bruh.
It's very rare that we would find an animated feature that is like very close to nature in this way, and especially depicting nature as realistic, as authentically.
Yeah, that's why I
possible.
just left the
And
fucking
also,
servers. The Skylanders, for the
story as
Skylanders.
well. Like,
It's either they're sarcastic as fuck when they give you like an answer, or they're
and
fucking
I'm sure there are many
dumbasses.
people out there. They're just gonna be watching. They're watching the trailer. They're like, ah, crap. This thing is gonna make me cry, isn't it? And yeah, like I already feel like, honestly, even just by watching the trailer, I feel like, oh god, I'm gonna be emotional. Like even like this little shot with the feather.
And it's
the
most
robot,
likely just
like,
a kid, but
this little
still.
moment here, like, oh my god, I cannot look at that any further, because honestly, I might end up getting teary-eyed just from that one frame. Oh my god. So yeah, like there definitely is going to be like this emotional core that is going to carry with the robots relationship with all the animals, especially with that little ducky right there. But I think honestly the one thing that very much stands out from this entire trailer is the fact of how the majority of it is silent. That nobody was really talking
lines?
here, except for the robot at
Maybe
one
grunts?
point right at the end, giving us that little moral. In fact, let's just have like one more quick listen to that, because like it is a good lesson. Yeah, like this part here.
Sometimes to survive,
Oops.
we must become more than we were programmed to be.
So yeah, I just realized, like, was I on mostly? Like, I did realize visually that I wasn't showing like some of the things that I was talking about. But anyways, yeah, like that was the only time that that any character would go and legitimately talk. The most of it though was
just the birds not saying any. The birds or the rest of the animals not saying anything.
I know I've already mentioned Bambi, but if there is one movie that I would compare this to, it feels like WALL-E. It feels like a movie in which you would see like all these animals. Like, it's not necessarily a film that's driven by dialogue or anything like that. It's mostly silent, and you see this robot trying to navigate through life and just communicate the same way as the animals. That it's mostly the animators that would be carrying this through. Now, is that actually the case, though? Honestly, I don't think so. And that is mainly because of one thing that they have teased us that we haven't fully experienced, with the exception of one. Right over here.
Right,
as you can
they
see,
have actual
this
voice
movie
actors.
also has a list of prominent actors.
Big ones like Catherine O'Hara,
So, of course, we
and
did
Mark
hear
Hamill
Lupita
and
Nyong'o
Pedro
as the voice
Pascal.
of the robot, but also we have Pedro Pascal, we got
Bill
Kate
Nye as
Connor,
well.
Bill Nye, Stephanie Sue, Mark Hamill, and Catherine O'Hara. And that is the one thing that I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly a little bit concerned about, because honestly, I am loving the way that that the trailer here presented this as a mostly silent picture. But I don't think that might actually be the case, especially if they're going to be bringing in all these celebrities, then you're going to have some characters that will talk. So there is a very strong chance that what we have seen in this trailer might not be what we might actually get in the movie. Not to mention the fact that,
Well,
well,
wait and see.
a lot of the like the actors
It does
have
look interesting,
confirmed
though. I
that
do
the
have to give
characters
it that.
they will be voicing, apparently it's going to be the animals. Like, there's going to be at some point, one way or another, that the animals are going to talk. Like, I know Mark Hamill actually did confirm that he's going to be the voice of the bear.
Sometimes I remember in the Portal Masters United server, people said the N-word, including mods. Ugh.
And Kit Connor is going to be the voice of the ducky.
Yeah, see?
So, honestly, I don't know how they are going to go and present that.
Yeah, it's most likely just fucking kids
that might be something like,
they
after
don't
what
know
we have
any
just
better, but
witnessed
still.
with this trailer here,
It's
could
that
be
and
a
other
miss for
shit
great
that
deals,
just let
especially
me
if they're going
just
to
made me
involve,
just
talking
go like, you know,
animals. And
fuck this,
someone in the
I'm
chat
out of
wall
this fucking
even
server.
mentioned that apparently Pedro Pascal is going to be playing a fox in this. So that's honestly my biggest concern, because
I already
honestly,
don't
it
spend
just makes
too
me
long.
feel
I already
like
don't spend
I'm
that much
loving
on
what I'm
Discord.
seeing in this
But
trailer, but
even
maybe
that,
I should
then I
not
didn't
be
want
too attached to
be on that
what we
goddamn
are
server
seeing.
with
So
those
I'm just gonna
dumbasses, with
say
those fucking people.
overall, I'm gonna admit, I think this is honestly one of the best trailers for an animated feature, or one of the best trailers that we have recently
just
seen
imagine
so
if you're like a brand new person
Oh.
who just recently got into Skylanders and like trying to get some friends on Discord, and then that's what you fucking get. And like, bruh, this is what you, and that's what you see when you first get in. Like, fuck me.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel absolutely blown away. The animation is gorgeous. The way they would set up the robot's relationship with the animals is very emotional and very heartfelt.
They're not as
And,
unhinged
already
as
there's a lot
other
of the promise
as
that
other
they're
communities,
showing us,
but they're up
especially
there.
like with
They're up
some
there.
of the action as well. I think this is gonna be something that we really need to keep an eye out for. I think this is something where this is a movie that I don't know what the fridge DreamWorks is cooking, but
Yeah, again,
oh
it's
my
not as
God,
bad
let
as
them
other
cook,
communities, but it's
because there
getting
could
there.
be a strong chance that this could actually be one of the best animated features of the year. I mean, DreamWorks Animation already started off very strong with Orion in the Dark, but maybe there could be a chance that they could
People
surpass
go like we do a little bit of trolling around here, but it's more like all the
it. But
fucking
then
thing.
again,
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my judgment because I
Again,
don't know
every
what they are
fucking time
gonna
that I try to
show
get an
with the
answer
second trailer,
for like
and there could
something
be
on those
also another strong chance
servers,
that
it's always
gonna
it was
become
mostly
absolutely
just complete
different
silence
than what
or
we have seen
sarcasm.
right over here. But yeah, overall, I just gotta say this is a beautiful first
Lost connection to
impression
the guy.
that the Wild Robot made. So, if you are excited to see the Wild Robot, then keep in mind that it will be coming soon in theaters on September 20th.
Lost connection to him.
And with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall right now, in which I want to ask you all, how do you feel about what we have recently seen with the Wild Robot? Are you excited to watch the movie? Are you a little concerned that things might be different the next time we see that again? I would like to know what your thoughts are. I want to know. Actually, I'm gonna go and write down a question, and I'm gonna spice things up a little bit.
The guy probably disconnected, most likely.
What was your first impression of the Wild Robot? I'll say love. It's either that you hold on, I'll put it all in caps. Love it, or it's just eh. So we're gonna go and put up that poll. Meanwhile, what does the chat wall have to say
Hold on,
here?
I want to check something real quick. This shouldn't take too long. Oh, there we go. I was about to check something, but the fucking guy immediately showed up.
Let me see.
Well, whatever. I'll check it later.
When I first heard about it, I wasn't much interested other than Chris Sanders directing the film. But now that I've seen the trailer, I will say, shut up and take...
Right. Chris Sanders. I think that's the same director that worked on Lilo and Stitch. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris Sanders is the one that worked on... It was like the director for the original Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He also did the voice of Stitch in the movie.
Take my money. This movie is
So
absolutely
now you're
gorgeous.
working on the
The
DreamWorks
animation is
movie.
lovely,
Okay,
and the animals
interesting.
are super cute, especially the otters. Man, why are they so adorable? All right, DreamWorks, you got my attention. This will definitely be their best movie of 2024. This is definitely going to make me cry when I'm gonna watch it. Man, here comes the alligator tears. All right, let's see what else we got. This trailer absolutely blew me away. This really seems very unique compared to other DreamWorks movies, and it has my attention. The story seems very emotional, and the animation is absolutely gorgeous, and I love how it's mostly silent, and I absolutely love Chris Sanders' works with Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, so overall, I'm
Oh,
very
really?
excited
He also
for
worked
it.
on How to Train Your
All
Dragon.
right,
Okay. I did
from
not
the look
know
of this
that.
trailer, this might be
Interesting.
the strongest lineup that
Yeah, I guess this
DreamWorks
wasn't
has, more
the
than
first
Cuckoo Can
DreamWorks
Afford,
movie that he
despite
worked
being
on.
weaker than Orion in the Dark. Although the all-star cast is the one thing I'm worrying the most if they are going to make the animals talk, but I hope it's not for the sake of cringe humor, because the animation and heart looks amazing so far, and I don't want to ruin it. Hopefully, this movie is amazing when it comes out. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that, like, honestly, that would be an absolute mistake for DreamWorks Animation to do. Like, if they're gonna present to us this one trailer showing us, like, a beautiful, heartfelt story that looks like it's going to take itself very seriously, and then they would bring up a second trailer where the animals talk, and then you would have the same kind of cringy humor like in Trolls Band Together. Oh boy, someone is gonna get fired for that.
Just start singing fucking Bare Necessities or some
hopefully
shit.
that is not the case, and I trust that DreamWorks Animation is not gonna be that stupid to do. So, I mean, we will wait and see with what the second trailer has in store, which I'm guessing is going to come out maybe sometime this summer. Alright, let's see what else we have. This looked really nice. I think I'm going to see it. It looks sweet, wholesome, visually lovely, and nice. It feels like the...
When you head to local game stores, you commonly see Skylanders on PS3. I do see that the figures at some point. The games themselves, I think they keep them on the back. Because they don't sell just the game itself, they sell the full bundle.
The original spirit in terms of tone and themes with nature. My only concern has nothing to do with the movie, but the Disney the Disney hate-dums who will latch onto the movie being the better than Disney woke blah blah blah.
Yeah, I tried to selling my other copy of Swap Force at some point in there, and they refused because it had to be the full bundle.
Yeah, that's also
of the full starter
that
pack.
Is pretty unfortunate and kind of bittersweet when it comes to this movie in particular with the Wild Robot.
Yeah, exactly. The whole it had to be the whole starter pack.
For those of you who don't know, the Wild Robot is actually going to be the last animated film in which it will be made fully in-house at DreamWorks Animation before they're going to move on to outsourcing. I think the last time I checked, it was like their
$6-8 for the whole thing.
Like Sony Pictures Animation. And they're going to go to Sony Pictures Imageworks, where they will go and provide the animation because, well, it's a cheaper alternative.
Yeah, let me check
which
that
honestly,
real quick.
it really sucks.
It has been a while since I checked the prices for those things.
Because it means more work for Canadian animators. It really, it is a sad thing because that Universal is trying to dodge the animation guild. They just don't want to go and follow the union rules, which is why they have resorted to just go and move, give more work to Sony Pictures Imageworks. So yeah, that's also another thing.
It's not showing the games, showing the
anyways,
figures.
Okay,
damn,
this looks way more.
All right, so let's see. The full starter pack of the Wii version is $3. Let's see. For the PS3 version is $6. What else? For the Wii U version is 10. The Xbox One version is 25. The Xbox 360 version is 15, and the PS4 version is 45. Yeah, but although some of them they don't actually have it on stock. Wait, hold on, I'll check. I'll say more shit when the fucking ads stop
More beautiful
playing.
than I could have predicted. Not only was it a bold choice to have almost no dialogue in the trailer, but the animation looks beautiful, clearly showing some Puss in Boots: The Last Wish influences, and the rendition of What a Wonderful World is very eternal. I'm definitely going to give it a go, but I'm not sure about the lead being named Roz. I'm guessing she's going to watch us. Always watch it. Oh my god. Yeah, that would be like a completely different movie. Like, how about Pixar responds with like a whole remake of The Wild Robot, but it's literally just Roz. It's like, oh look, a little ducky. How adorable.
Raz from Monsters Inc.
I'm gonna go and raise it. And then, like, you see that scene where you see the robot, like, trying to make the ducky fly. Like, you just see her, she's just slowly slugging her way to the cliff. It's like, all right, duck, now's your turn. Flap your wings. Sometimes we need to be more than what we are programmed for. What a wonderful world!
Okay, that's a pretty spot-on voice.
That would totally be a completely different movie right there.
Right, the ad stopped playing, so let's see what else we have. Alright, the dark... Now, yeah, we also have some more dark editions here. The dark edition of the Wii version is 15. The 3DS version is 22.
30 love.
And that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, not too expensive. At least
Anyways,
the non recent, the non Xbox One and PS4 versions.
I have
Although for some reason the
wanna
Xbox 360 version is a
where
little
did
expensive
that go?
compared to
Who was
compared
that?
to
Like, there was one
PS3.
that really caught my eye. I just want to make sure I find it. Oh, okay, right over here. Wally has joined forces with Castaway. As both a longtime DreamWorks and Chris Sanders fan, I gotta say that both this trailer rules and this movie looks fantastic. The painterly aesthetic in the animation, music, the cinematography, and the overall tone alone just feels very powerful enough to rival The Prince of Egypt and Spirit. By the way, I wish John Powell would have come back to score this film. Aside from that, I genuinely can't wait to see this movie. Sanders is cooking. Oh, absolutely.
He's been cooking for a good while.
Cook. Anyways, The Wild Robot has the potential to be one of DreamWorks' best films to date. I mean, it's Chris Sanders, you guys. We all know how amazing he could do with his movies. The animation looks amazing. The visual style, while it still has that Puss in Boots look, it still looks nice, and the casting looks superb. I see Pedro Pascal is also in this. We cannot escape the Pedro Pascal mania train, can we? But yeah, I can't wait to see it. Also, go Chris Sanders. I love the guy so much. I don't blame you right there. Alright, I think I'm going to read 2 more comments, and then we're going to go to our grand finale.
Most people dislike the guy.
I saw the trailer already,
Hope you're doing
and
good.
it was adorable and beautiful.
Yeah, we're just in the middle
this is a prime example
doing some
of
tennis
show,
stuff
don't
here.
tell, and the animation is some of the best from DreamWorks. I am
Come
interested
on,
to go
get
and
in.
watch this. Also, are you playing an
Also,
are you planning an Animat
Past the
watches
time we have
on the
Animat
Megamind
here.
sequel?
Doing what
Jeez,
quote-unquote
I've
recent
had
news
so
that we have.
many people asking me for that, but
Chillin', man, resting all day. My first time back on screen on my phone.
maybe.
Yeah, we're
I don't
doing the
want
same
to
thing.
do
We're
it,
just
but
chilling
I
out.
think I gotta have to do it.
See if I can finally get this damn online done. Then I can move on to
But anyways,
other games.
I
Like
have
do
seen the
the online
trailer
as well.
myself. It is amazing. I do agree that it reminds me of Wall-E. It also reminds me of the Iron Giant. I have seen many people on the internet being excited and blown away by this trailer. While part of me thinks that it will be similar to Wall-E, I think it will be very different to that film as it is based on a book. I have also seen some people jumping the gun and say that this film could win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars in 2025. Yeah, yeah, sure. That's what many people said about Yeah, a lot of people also said that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse would win Best Picture at the Oscars. Yeah,
And look how that turned out.
But anyways, all this to go and say that if you are excited for The Wild Robot, which I gotta say, I did see the poll that I created, and it is pretty much unanimous. Everyone who has voted say that they love this first trailer, and if you are excited for it, which I'm guessing you are, then it will be coming soon in theaters on September 20th. And now we are going to go into our last break, and we have one more story to cover, and this is a little surprise for you all, because we are going to be talking about Kung Fu Panda 4, and the things that have been revealed about what happened behind the scenes. Oh boy, you're in for quite a wild surprise, so stay tuned for that.
Is it a good surprise or a bad surprise?
And now, folks, it is time that we shall go and cap this
Some
episode
behind the
off
scenes
with
stuff. Okay, interesting.
the grand
Sounds bad.
finale. And wow, this is one of my
most
best
likely,
timed
yeah.
ones with that little.
You never know what
music
happens
right
in
there.
in
But
movies or
anyways,
video games
what I am
productions.
going to be talking about is
let's see what
actually
that'll
in
happen.
regards to Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, I know that there have been, I guess you could say, some honorable mention news that have occurred. Yes, Nintendo and Illumination have confirmed that there is going to be another Mario movie that will be coming soon in April of 2026. And on the day that I am recording this, there has actually been news that have revealed that apparently Disney has fired the creator of X-Men 97, which honestly is
What?
very concerning, and it does make me wonder, what the frick did the guy do that made Disney have to immediately go and kick him out? Because
They
they
kicked
didn't
out
even
the-
treat
the-
Gina Carano that way.
The creator
so
of
whatever he did
X-Men
must have
97?
been
What the
a
fuck?
little too serious.
Ooh, that's
But
not good.
Anyways, what I'm going to be discussing is actually
Didn't
in
the
regards
show
to
finally-
Kung Fu
didn't the show
Panda
finish?
4. And I
Thought it
know
was just
that
one
I
season.
saw, like I have seen in the chat
Weird.
wall, a lot of people freaked out, and
Imagining making a YouTube shorts and going like, today I went to
I would say some of you might have
I
jumped
probably
the gun a
most
little
likely
bit
tend to say
into
today you
what
had
I'm going to be
sex, not
discussing
went
about
to.
in regards to Kung Fu Panda 4. A lot of people are thinking that, oh, this is going to be another case of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with a very troubled production, with a toxic work environment. Oh my god, things have gone so wrong with Kung Fu Panda 4. I'm just going to say now, no. It's not necessarily that at all. Like, the
Okay.
production, for the
Went
most part,
fine?
actually went pretty smoothly. It was fine.
Okay.
It's not necessarily that in which I want to go and talk about, because it didn't necessarily occur. What I
At
am
least
going
there's not-
to
it's
talk
not
about
something like
is
toxic-
what did happen
toxic-
behind the
toxic
scenes.
production
And
or something.
listen to what I have to say, because this is actually in regards to a lot of the creative choices that have occurred in Kung Fu Panda 4. And by the way, just to give you all a major warning right now, that what I am about to go into some spoilers of Kung Fu Panda 4. So if you
I
have
don't
not
care.
seen the movie yet and you want to do so and want
I don't
to
really give a
avoid
shit about spoilers, so whatever.
then this is where the episode for you ends right here. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time.
Yeah.
But for
You should
those
just
of
say
you
what
who
it is.
are willing to stay, well, have I got a wild story for you all. So let's go and discuss about
Is it the whole
what
time long
happened
thing?
with Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, what occurred was that
We have him. Got to talk to the co-director of Kung Fu Panda 4, and probably got the most information we'll ever get about the Kung Fu Panda film productions. I have made a transcript. It is 48 questions, 8,200 words long.
apparently the fan
So what, he
Discord
just did
of
an
Kung Fu
interview?
Panda had an opportunity to have a discussion with the co-director of the movie, which is Stephanie Ma Stein. And she would go and discuss about her entire experience when working on Kung Fu Panda 4, especially as a co-director, in which it opened the door to what actually happened within the production, especially with a lot of the creative choices, her path as a co-director, and so much more. And one of the first things she would go and discuss on this entire Discord is actually in regards to the cameos of the villains.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew this. It had something
the
to do with
return
probably
of
Tai Lung.
General Kai and Lord Shen, as well as also bringing up the Furious Five, like their little return during the credits of the feature. And like especially with the Furious
most likely
Five, they kind of have a little
They
bit of
couldn't
their
get them
own,
because the voice actors
they
were just
have
too expensive.
a little bit of their of a chapter in her story, and apparently, and it honestly shows that they were actually very last minute additions. And as you're probably seeing
Well,
in Kung Fu Panda
makes sense,
4,
yeah. They
when
only
we
show
do
up at the
see
very
Lord
last
Shen
scene of the
and
movie.
General Kai, they pretty much came out of they pretty much showed up. They got locked in the cage by the chameleon when she took the kung fu out of them, and then suddenly we just see them return to the spirit realm. Like they were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
basically,
didn't even get a
extras.
voice line.
So pretty much
It was just Tai
glorified
Lung that
cameos.
spoke, huh?
And it actually showed because apparently during production, they were added in at the very last minute. In fact, she didn't actually confirm it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the animators of Kung Fu Panda 4 added Lord Shen and General Kai this year. And the way that she described it was that the rings of Kai and Shen were made out of sticks and glue, meaning that when they were working on the models, they went with like the most basic of basic character models for them to go and use. They didn't add in anything extra. They didn't go crazy with what they would want to do with them. It's just literally just, you know, like, just the most basic that they could go and create.
Scrat, I don't have the fucking time to watch. I don't have the time to watch the video.
So that they could go and quickly add in their reactions, their little movements.
I need to finish off 2 more matches with this guy, and then we need to go and check Swap Force. But I don't have the time to watch the video.
And stuff like that, and that's it.
You
and the same
that.
story would go with the Furious 5, where after we saw the entire adventure unfurl, and we go into the credits where they would play the Tenacious D version of Hit Me Baby One More Time, we suddenly see Poe ready to go and train Zhen with the Furious 5. You know, like suddenly we see a quick appearance of the Furious 5 where they're also working with Zhen. And then from there, they too were also last minute additions, where for the longest time during production, the animators really wanted to add in the Furious 5, which I will get to a little bit later. But the market, it wasn't until the marketer stepped in and say, yeah, you know what? We need to have the Furious 5 on board. We need to bring in the Furious 5. So same thing occurred. They just made very basic models of the Furious 5, or as Stephanie puts it, created these rigs
I gotta make
made
a predict thing.
Glue,
okay.
And then just show a few little shots of them training with Zhen.
Yeah, sure. You can do
now,
that.
From there, it does
2 more
also,
matches from Virtua Tennis, and we'll do it. That'll do for a day, and then we'll check. I'll go and check Swap Force, see if I can get the fucking trophy in the platinum.
They just went off on their little little missions that Poe would just describe like.
Yeah, it's. You never use the prediction shit. Bro, because my fucking laptop can't. Takes way too long to load that. My laptop takes way too long to load other shit.
Oh well, all these characters.
Yeah, my laptop's barely
Anyways,
fucking holding on to having the video on.
And I suspected it, and this was something that I actually wrote in my review before knowing this, but it turns out to be correct, that the actors are just way too expensive to bring them back. Because the thing is, back in the 2000s, you know, back when computer animation was brand new for movies, back when,
it's holding on for dear life. I mean, it's not too bad. You only get the CPU only really gets high when I start playing a video again, and I think it's going high again, really high now, just because of the fucking prediction shit showing up on OBS. Yeah, can I like hide that? Nah, can't fucking hide that shit now. Nah, whatever.
It was very popular to go and bring in A-list celebrities.
Yeah, but my CPU is going higher than usual just because of the prediction shit.
That not only would they get a big payment along with a percentage of the residuals, but also with every new sequel that they would go and potentially make, they would have an increase. That they would have the same thing, but a bit more, and it would accumulate with each sequel going on. And as you can imagine, going at number 4, yeah, you can imagine that bringing those people back would definitely be very expensive. So you can imagine that people like Jack Black and Dustin Hoffman, they were paid very handsomely. And in terms of the Furious 5,
it does make sense. They are like the big, more important characters.
Apparently, I think it's one of the executives or one of the producers told her, well, one line from Angelina Jolie would cost $20 million. Now, rather if that's an exaggeration or not, I have no idea. But you could probably
20
guess
million,
that,
god
yeah,
damn,
if you're going to
for
bring
just
people
one
back,
line?
such as Seth Rogen, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, David Cross, and Jackie Chan, yeah, it could take a
God
significant
damn,
chunk
the fucking
of the
Tigers is
budget. Like,
expensive.
honestly, it would be that bad. Like, the only one who really did return was just Seth Rogen as Mantis. And even then, the only thing he did there was just like and that was it. So that was the reason why they couldn't come back, despite the
couldn't they just
animation
like
team at
reuse
DreamWorks
that?
just
Use like
begging
one of the
the
lines from the
executives
previous movies
to
and do
have them
that?
return. And also,
most
on a
likely what they
side
did.
note, DreamWorks is very well aware that there is a high demand for a Furious 5 spin-off movie. The animators really want that, Stephanie Mostein really wants that, and they know there is a significant amount of fans that really want a Furious 5 spin-off film. Now, rather if that's actually going to happen, honestly, only time will tell. But considering that right now DreamWorks Animation is in a phase where they just want to focus on making their budgets a lot lower than what they used to be, the chances are, I'm just going to make a guess that it feels a bit
They just didn't want to bother
unlikely.
getting the old cast.
So from
because
there,
they become more and more
she would
expensive.
also, Stephanie would also go and discuss about her experience as a co-director and how it was a bit of a tough journey because she was actually making her transition from television to feature films because beforehand she was an episodic director of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and when she would go into movies,
Cool,
well, she wasn't really that well respected, especially when there is a massive rivalry between the movie division of DreamWorks and the television division at DreamWorks.
Toxic competition in anything does never fucking helps. Yeah, even Monsters at Work show that shit. But yeah.
And even at
that's gonna be for
right
virtual
now,
test
apparently,
today.
according to her, the TV division has really fizzled out. Like, it's all, like, honestly, it's been next to completely dismantled. And I think the only thing that's going on at DreamWorks that is series is just Coco Lemon. And that is it. And from there, she had to go and work hard in order to really make her voice be heard. Because rather it be the need to actually have the tone of the movie be more true to 1 and 2, or to have Shifu get kidnapped by the chameleon, which that is a significant thing I will bring up later. The people at DreamWorks, they just didn't care because she's not really that
Man, why is it going fucking slow? It doesn't normally do this. Yeah, just hold on the button and it goes all the way down. Now it's going way too slow for some reason.
Journey. And honestly, this is not because of DreamWorks Animation or the environment.
Man, why is it going slow?
This is something that most, if not all, co-directors have to go through.
This is a bug.
She has to go and prove that she is a voice that should be heard. Like, one great example is that at one point, she just...
Okay, same thing. It's pretty much the same.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm tripping on my words there. She suggested to have Sung...
Okay, yeah, that'll do for virtual test today. Come on, send the message. Fuck me, why is the PS app so slow? Even after the fucking update, it's still slow as shit. Come on. Okay. That should do for a day, though. Now, let me just get rid of this real quick. Scroll, we're not done with the stream just yet. Remember, you have to fucking check Swap Force. I need to do some setup though. I don't have any characters from Swap Force right now in my room. So hold on, this might take a bit. Yeah, we'll be right back. But hold on. First, I need to turn off the capture card for now. Alright, we'll be right back. I need to set. And we are back. Now, let's see if this shit's gonna work. I doubt it, but let's see. Scrod, there was no fucking need to be changing the title. This is not gonna take too long. So there was no need to change the stream's title. It's gonna take like less than fucking 5 minutes. That is if this decides to work, because last time I tried to play Swap Force on PS3, the game kept freezing every time it loaded the character. So let's see. Yep, we're back to fucking slow ass load times. Yeah, I doubt it's gonna work. Because I'm pretty sure the guy just fucking didn't get it legitimately. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this is still my old save file that I had almost all the fucking characters in. Yeah, let's see if the game's still gonna fucking freeze when it loads the character. Because it has been a while since I played the game on PS3. God, how fucking long it takes to load.
The perfect swarm.
My Bumble Blast? Okay, there we go.
Welcome back to Woodboro.
Okay, now it wants to fucking work. Before, every time I tried to play the game, it would always freeze when loading the character.
Assistant Skylander. Visit with Eon and see what bonus missions are available.
So it's probably just a server thing, maybe. Alright, let's see. Nope. Still can't interact with it. Nope, nothing. Yeah, I knew the guy fucking hacked. Nope, still can't interact with it. Yeah, I had a suspicion that the guy hacked. Yeah, it does not look like I can fucking interact with this thing at all.
There are also many secrets in our town that are ready for you to discover. Enjoy all that we have to offer, and of course, you have our eternal thanks, Skylander.
Right. Yep. And I'm pretty sure I have the internet on. There's no way to check the internet. Nope, still nothing. Nobody taught this footwork. Nobody thought this would happen, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy just fucking hacked. Yeah, it looks like I can't really do anything in it. I'll try messaging the guy again, but I'll try messaging the guy, but I doubt he's gonna fucking respond. Yeah, let me look it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just interact with the thing by just getting close to it. What was newsworthy? Right trigger. Nope. Nope. Nothing. Nothing show up. Okay, yeah. It's still unobtainable. I'll ask the guy how he got it, but I'm pretty sure I know how. And I'm pretty sure also he's not gonna fucking respond. So yeah, I'll do that I'll do that later. But yeah. Yeah, I had my suspicion that the guy hacked. Yeah, at least now we know that the PS3 version works again without having to turn off the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yeah, it still sucks. Still can't fucking do anything with that. Still can't. You still can't get the platinum. What? Do you mind with the ads? No, come on. There we go. That should do. Yeah, that's gonna do for this. There we go. Cobra Ball went offline when you raid. I'll try Downton Dusk Games. Try Raven Arm first. If it doesn't work, go to down to Dusk Gems. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know anything. Way too much fucking work. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this session of Virtua Tennis. Yeah, I had a suspicion that the guy hacked. I was just like quoting us. I just wanted to see it for myself, huh? And I was right. Yeah. You still can't get the platinum. Kind of a bummer, but whatever. But yeah, at least you can still work on the another game's platinum. But yeah, we should be almost done with online tour, maybe. Yeah, I can probably finish it off maybe on either tomorrow or off streamer. Although I'm gonna have to give more wins to the guy as well, because I think I have way more than he does. Again. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that as well, and then finish off with friendly matches, which shouldn't take too long. But that's gonna be for today. Again, next stream shall be on tomorrow, where we are gonna be doing more Virtua Tennis, hopefully. Either that or just more Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. So yeah, if you like to be notified when I go live or any other shenanigans, have in mind our stream schedule of video uploads. You can go to my Discord where you'll be notified as such. And if you also want to keep track of any previous streams I hosted in the past, you can also go to my YouTube channel as well. Now, with all that said and done, let's see what Raven-Armed. Yeah, let's see what he's up to. Down to Dusk Gems. Okay. Looks like she's doing some craft stuff. Alright, whatever. There we go. So yeah, for this stream we are gonna be reading Dawn to Dusk Gems. Right now they're doing some craftsmanship stuff, something like that. So yeah, you guys have fun with Dawn to Dusk. Have yourselves a merry rest of the day, and as always, have a good one. Bye. Bye bye. See ya. Have a good one. Bye. Bye bye. See ya.